with your hand. Gives me feelings I don't understand. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. It's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. It's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. World without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. World without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. It's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. You do this thing when I'm talking to you, like everything freezes and it's just you. You do this thing when I'm talking to you, like everything freezes and it's just you. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. It's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. Give it to me like world without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it.
Oh, good evening, people. Hope everyone is good out there. I hope everyone's had a good day. Not as hot as the past few days, so still sweating off in here in this little box, but a bit better. Only needed one cold shower. This incident, this issue, it's just not improving at the moment, is it? I mean, what's going on here at the moment at Tottenham? Are we actually going to do anything? I keep looking through the stuff and I keep coming up with so many little things that I keep finding here, there and everywhere. And you just know that 95% of it is just bullshit anyway. I think we are literally stuck in this moment now where literally any show I've been on or show I've done in the past week and a half, you're sort of, what are we doing? We're debating the same thing. We're debating whether Savinho is good enough for Tell or not, or Tell's better than Savinho. I mean, come on, that tells you something. We're debating who's going to be better for us, Solanke or Richie, having massive debates about the youth academy and that. Because I think we're literally at that point where we've gone over that point of the good stuff. The good stuff's happened. And we're now like, well, what the fuck do we talk about? It's all gone Spursy again, isn't it? That's how it's looking at the moment. Now, I know we got a couple of weeks till the end of the window. But it does seem to be going a bit Spursy, doesn't it? And we can't seem to get rid of the players. We can't seem to get the players in. We got the problem with our fucking homegrown stuff. We got problems with people inside the place, and that this whole thing just seems to be falling to shit very, very quickly. But again, for me, even if we don't buy a striker, and even if we don't get a left winger, Ellie, I'll be with you in a moment, it's still not the biggest failure of a window for me. Now, okay, we haven't got the strikers and that. I do get that. But I think we do have to take into consideration we have actually made at least 3 very good signings there. 2 definitely proven. I mean, Tonali, none of them were worth the money we paid. I mean, fucking hell, it was crazy. But do you know what? Bollocks. I'll go to that in a minute. I'll bring Ellie on as she's here. Ellie, how we doing? I'm going to say hello to a couple of people on the side and I will be straight with you.
Yeah.
All right, we are Spurs TV. How we doing, mate? Mikey Moore, the sideshow act, will be shipped out to Germany. That's right. It looks like he's going, what's it called? Cologne? I can't pronounce the fucking thing. The Germans. Yeah, it looks like he's going out to the Germans. Don't forget to see Sven the Viking, who can't lift 5 women with each arm above his head. These days, mate. These days. And yeah, in the Polish psychotic before you go. Mate, something's he's got to go on loan, hasn't he? I would have thought maybe Dortmund would have took him on, but I think him going to Germany is a good thing. And we are Spurs TV also saying Scottish League is ranked lower than the MLS and Germany isn't equal to the Premier League. Yes, we know that. And the other thing is with the Scottish League, mate, if I remember, it's ranked something like 30 or 35. It's actually below the Polish League and our League One. So that just about says a lot for the fucking Scottish League, doesn't it? But they still got Celtic and Rangers. Shipping them around the world to play in Farmers Leagues isn't doing him any good. It's not going to do him any bad either. I think sticking him on the subs bench ain't going to do him no favours. I also think that just leaving him out there to do training ain't going to do no favours either. I'd rather we go paste him off on loan. There you go. Get some games in there and see it from there. But I understand some people think they'd be better off on the subs bench. I can't agree with that one. And we are Spurs TV obviously also saying playing in under 21 would be more beneficial. I don't think so. I think playing against men would do more favours. And Tony, big up Dan and Guess and chat. Big up to you too, fella. Glad you're right over in Sweden. Hope everything's good. And Kale Darnage. Okay, let's go. Yep, big up, mate. Rodney, how we doing, fella? Big up to all the coys. Big up to you too, fella. And Richard James saying to we are Spurs TV, maybe Mikey Moore is just a bit shit. I suppose time will tell. Tony, big up Dan, big up you, mate. And Jessica, okay, JE55IKA. I'm pretty sure I'd have got that one right with Jessica. Big up Dan, big up to you too. Also, we are Spurs saying, I just don't see him making it in the Premier League. Mate, most of them don't fucking make it in the Premier League, and we know that anyway. I mean, that one's just, we know that. So why not put him on loan a bit and then just get him... And then just get as much money as we can for him. Right, another couple, and I'm with you, Eddie. Logan, evening, Dan fella, and big up chat, everyone. Big up to you too, mate. And David Tull, lovely intro, Dan, great job. Intro, totally on Benji. Benji made that intro. He's fucking quality at what he does there. I'm the one who does the music. I'm significantly better at making music work than he is. He's fucking good at the intros. So Ben gets the credit for that intro. Done a very good job on that one. But thanks. And Adam as well. What an intro. Yep, like I said, Benji made that. I just do the music. I am better at making the music parts drop with the scenes and everything else. It's something I've done in college many, many years ago. And very nice, very evil. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the first fucking bit. Dan, that intro reminds me of Hackney. I don't know if it's Hackney, mate. I mean, fucking hell. I remember you having to go Hackney and work up that end a few times, along with going up Brixton and everything else and that. I mean, wow. Yeah, that's why you have a stab-proof vest when you work there. Still got it in the cupboard. And Rob Plan as well. Nope, still reckon 9.9 is bullshit. I agree. Ellie, how are we doing?
Yeah, I'm cool. I love the names that are coming in on your chat and what they're saying. It's hilarious. Right, I was trying to hold my laughter so that you could get through them. Laughing under my breath. Right, five women over your shoulder. Oh, God. Yeah,
I don't know, not with modern day women, mate. Not with modern day women.
no,
But
it
that's
depends how much
story.
they weigh as well, really. Right. Anyway, I like the fact that we're putting some of our youngsters out to harvest in the farmers leagues, as they said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go with the farmers leagues. I've always against that term because I think it's quite condescending to other leagues, right? That like the German league, all right, you know, it's not as good as the Premiership, but we're getting a lot of players from the other leagues as well that come to England to play in England. So if they're so much farmers, how comes they're ending up in the Premiership? Because they're bloody good footballers. That's why. Yeah, but I think I do get it why people call it that, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah, it's I do get the Farmers League act of it, but then if you want to look at it, what do you call a Farmers League basically when one team consistently wins it? Premier League's been known for doing that as well over a few years.
Yeah,
but we do have a little bit of a mix on there. I'd say about the only other league you can seriously look at and say there's maybe 4 to 5 teams that can seriously win it is actually the Italian league. I'd say that's the only one because Inter can obviously do it. Juventus can perk up and do it. Napoli are there for it. I won't bring in Roma onto that stage of it.
AC
I'll say
Milan.
those dirty bastards.
You don't
Yeah,
like AC Milan, so you
of
sort
course
of
I
skip
don't. I'm
that.
an Inter supporter.
I
I'm an
know.
Inter supporter, so I
And
don't
then
like
Como
AC.
are coming strong, aren't they? You
Give them
said
another
to me
two,
the
3
other day,
years.
remember?
Give them another 2 or 3 years, Ellie. They are
Yeah,
going to win that league. Mark my words. Give them another
yeah.
3 seasons. They're going to have that league. They have got a lot of money. As long as they get in the Champions League consistently for the next 3 years, they are going to fucking overtake that league in a big way.
You know
They're
what?
about the only ones who've got any bloody money. But
And
on the Farmers
also,
League bit, I agree with what you're saying. I mean,
yeah,
if you look at the other leagues, there's 1 or 2 big clubs in it. I think that's just where we might have got a bit lost in ourselves on how big the Premier League is. And that is why
yeah,
it is the best league in the world. Because
yeah.
I
It
don't know
is.
if
It's most
Coventry was to
exciting.
go out. Yeah, if Coventry was to go out and bang Arsenal 3-1, people
Yeah,
would raise an eyebrow like, fucking hell. Yeah, but
I
it's the Premier
know.
League. It happens. Now, you go over to Germany and one of their lower teams, and the only one I keep thinking of is St. Pauli because no one's ever heard of them. I don't even think they're in their Bundesliga anymore. They went down. Goes
Yeah,
and beats Bayern Munich or Dortmund or Leverkusen. There's literally a heart attack and a breakdown, basically. Look at
yeah,
Spain. They got 3 solid teams out there, and then one of their little teams goes and beats Real Madrid. The world can't believe it. The
I
same
know.
goes on in France as well, doesn't it? And Scotland. Scotland's
Yeah,
just Scotland. We just leave that one. And
yeah. We're
the
skipping
Italian
Scotland.
league is a little bit more open in the depth of the teams as such. Like I said, not just for winning it now, but you've got clubs on there that can do some stuff in that league. Like I said, you got Inter, you got AC, you got Juventus, you got Como, you got Napoli. Lazio ain't nothing special anymore. Roma did well last season. You've got at least 7 squads in there, 7 clubs in there that are on a level as such.
Yeah,
Whereas in the other leagues, but then Nelly, the other thing is, like with the leagues, they call it the farmers' leagues and all that sort of stuff, yeah. But the joke of it is for me, if Real Madrid or Barcelona come over here, there's a very high chance they win that league.
yeah. True.
Bundesliga Germany, Dortmund and Munich come over here. Dortmund ain't winning this league, but they can fight
Nah.
for a Europa spot, I think.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
Bayern Munich, they can come over here. They could
They
win
can
this
win the
league.
league.
PSG could come over here, and
Yeah,
they would win this league most probably the way they are at the moment. And
yeah,
then you go and get
definitely.
Inter and let's say Napoli, the best 2 teams out in Italy. They could definitely come over here and fight for a top 5 place. But then
Yeah,
the rest of the league is
100%.
basically the rest of their teams are pretty much irrelevant. So you don't like the Farmers League thing?
No, I just don't like the term. I think it's a bit condescending. I just don't like the term. But having said that, I understand why people call it that. But then I just don't agree with it. I won't call it that myself. Right. But do you know what I like is when all the foreign players come from abroad, I think we've got around about 70% of foreign players roughly, or maybe it's 66% or something like that. Right. So, what I don't like is that, the English boys, right, they don't
Mm-hmm.
get the same opportunities as they did before. Like, if you look at our 80s team, it was mainly English boys, right? There was a few foreign players like Ozzy Ardiles, Ricky Villa, and that was it. Right, but now it's infiltrated with foreign players, and our lads don't get a chance to progress, or they get loaned out to lesser leagues, don't they? And
Mm.
you'll find that all the talk about the academies that you don't really like, do you? But it's like wasting time and effort, but bringing our lads through. If they're not going to make it through, they have to be better than the foreign players, right, to get a look in. And that's
Mm.
what I don't like, because it's detrimental to the whole of the country in terms of England football club as well. England play, not England football club, England national team, I meant to say. Um, and it stifles their progression because they're not getting the same opportunities that they did before, and
No,
I'm not going to get political about it, but I think it's not right. So I think it should be the other way round. 66% English boys, or boys who grew up in Scotland, Ireland and
mm-hmm.
Wales, rather than all the infiltration. Yeah,
I
because
mean,
it stifles the English game.
But it don't work for what the Premier League wants, does it, Ellie? I mean, the Premier League wants money. Money
It's
is what makes the
true.
world go round. As soon as money is
Yeah.
involved in something, it goes fucking corrupt. Nobody can tell me that anything has to do with money is not corrupt one way or a fucking another. This whole planet is corrupt. But because the Premier League is that big and it makes, I think, treble the money of what even La Liga does, they don't want to do that because they want to keep the big players coming in, basically, or the better known players or whatever else, to
Yeah.
make it as competitive as it is to an extent. I mean, you can turn around and you can say, is the Premier League really a competitive league? No, because
No, it
there's usually
isn't.
about three
No.
teams that you'd say would win it. So is that
Yeah.
competitive? But it is
No.
competitive all the way down the rest of the order, isn't it? Where anybody can beat anybody. You don't really see that in other leagues like you do our league. But they wouldn't want to give the kids a chance as such to do that. I mean, I think it'd be a great idea for our international. But really, the country don't give a fuck about itself, let alone give a fuck about the International Football League. So in that aspect,
No.
as all it is, Ellie, is just money.
Yeah. So when I used to watch international games, I enjoyed them because the players were of a level. But now I see England play, and there's no cohesion in the team. It's like 11 strangers playing, right? That's how I see it anyway. I just don't get why we have 66 or 70% foreign players and then our lads don't get the opportunities that they used to do. Like Stevie Perriman mentioned it on his podcast, right? And it's not a racist thing. People think it's racist, but look, you grow up in this country, right? So I'll take myself for example, right? I played for Spurs ladies, right? If other foreign ladies came in like they are now, because the ladies' game is going that way as well, right? And then I don't get the same opportunities that I got, I might not have become the player that I became, right? I know they say, oh, the cream does rise to the top, and the best players out of the English academies would come through, but they don't get that opportunity because we've seen it at Spurs as well. Like we
Who
brought
wants?
Bergvall in, and we brought Archie Gray, who's English, yeah, but we brought Bergvall in, we brought Tell in from the German league, and our boys don't get a look in, and they're not
It's
developing. You
Yeah,
see?
but who wants to give them that time? Because I don't want to give them that time because I just want what's best for Tottenham, and what's best for Tottenham isn't a bunch of youth players come through.
Yeah, but
Sadly,
we're
again,
buying
where
youth
there's
to
so much,
replace them. That's what I'm saying.
that's the bit that just goes fucking mental. Adam, I'll
Yeah,
come
it's
to you in a sec.
mental, isn't it?
No, you're all right, mate. You're fine.
That's just the weird shit that comes on it anyway. I mean, to me, that is a bit of a weird one, especially when you go and buy an Archie Gray or whatever. I mean, a Bergvall for 8 mil, it makes sense. There's logic in it. But a Tell for 50 mil, a Gray
I
for
know.
just some of
I
it,
paid
Ellie, is
50p for
just
him.
it just is what it is. And there's going to be a few points on there. Going to go to Adam. How you doing, fella? I haven't spoken.
Yeah,
for
I'm
a
good,
while.
mate. Yeah, I'm good. It's been a minute, mate. It's been a minute. Yeah, I just
See
thought
there?
I just literally finished my spag bowl, and I thought, fuck it, pour a glass of wine. Let's do this.
Oh, a glass of wine, man. That's disgusting. Wine is
Yeah,
fucking
glass of
jelly.
red with me. Well, I had to buy a bottle of
No,
red to go with my bolognese, so I've got to drink the bottle now, haven't I?
no, yeah, but I don't drink wine, mate. I think that is absolutely disgusting. I've only
I
ever
don't
got
that
pissed on that
often,
stuff
but
once. It's a hangover. The hangover on that thing is horrendous.
it is. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree
That
with
is
you.
worse than.
I can't hear Adam. He sounds like a Dalek.
Do I?
No, he's just speaking normal, Ellie.
Yeah, but to me, he sounds like a Dalek. That's what I'm
This is
saying.
just what I sound like,
His
darling.
voice is breaking up like, I am a Dalek. Like that.
Fuck's sake.
Well, I don't
I was
know.
going to say,
Oh, it's a shame.
I didn't know, Dan, that you
You can
liked
hear me
Ace.
okay,
I
but
can
I
hear you
can't
fine.
hear.
Yeah.
I can hear you okay, but Adam sounds like a Dalek.
Are you on a mobile?
Oh no, I can't hear him.
No, are you on a mobile or are you on laptop?
Shall I go out and come back in?
Because sometimes it does that with me
You
as
can
well.
try. And everyone else, but yeah, go on. Try jumping out and jumping back in.
I'll jump off and come back in.
Yeah.
I was going to say I didn't know you liked AC Milan. I went and see them play the other day against
I don't like AC
Celtic.
Milan. I fucking can't stand them. I'm an Inter supporter. That's my second team, Inter Milan. I don't like AC Milan. That's more the thing on it. I don't like AC Milan.
Oh, fuck, I can't
Right.
hear you now.
That's better.
What's happened?
I don't know. You can't hear me now.
Oh,
Now I
man,
think
I'll
you
go
got to
back out
jump
a
off
bit,
and come
yeah.
back on. Yeah. Fucking streaming at the moment
Bloody
is an
StreamYard shit
absolute.
at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, don't! It's an absolute
It's
fucking nightmare at the
annoying.
minute. I mean, look what it keeps doing on 2 Mark shows and everything. And
Yeah,
that
all that echoing noise and
is
scratching noise.
total absolute head fuck at the minute.
They
But right,
take your money though, don't they? They take your money,
Oh.
but they bloody don't give the service.
There you go.
who does, Ellie? Who does? Right. So with that
That's
one,
better.
it looks like Romero is a not far off written deal now. Yeah. But from what I've just read, Atletico Madrid are willing to step in for him as well now and pay an extra
Right.
5 million on top. So that's Inter offering 25 million for Romero. And if it's right what I'm reading, it's only by the books. Atletico Madrid willing to offer 30 million. Doesn't that just sum up everything that he's about? People have been saying how world class he is for how long and everything and that. Doesn't that just sum up everything?
Oh no, I said it at the beginning of the transfer window. He'll end up going on loan because everyone knows the position we're in with him. And at the end of the day, I'm not surprised at all that it's gone this long. And I think it will be a last day of the transfer window. He'll go on it will probably be we'll probably be actually like our arm twisted behind our back so much it will even be an option to buy, not even an obligation, because I think the 200 grand a week he's on. They know that they know they've got us by the balls. Any club that's coming in for him, I think that's how it's going to play out. I could be wrong, but
I mean, Ellie, doesn't it just show it to you how much Romero really is not rated out there?
Yeah, like
Simeone's he's a risk, isn't he?
Simeone's wanted him for time, hasn't he? Right,
You'd think he suits that, don't you? With Simeone,
he
you'd think he'd sort of
that
suit him a little
team.
bit.
He suits the character of the manager. He suits the team. He's got not. They're both Argentinian as well, which is going to help him, right? Because he is an Argentinian boy and he loves his country, no doubt, right? Because he goes missing every time he's called up for Argentina. He puts that priority.
But one thing they want at Madrid, Ellie, and they always want. One thing Simeone has always wanted there is what's the phrase for it? Discipline. He's always wanted his player to be disciplined, and that is one thing that little prick isn't, and that's discipline.
That's probably why he took
Simeone. He's probably the only manager in the world who can control Romero, I reckon. And get him on side, and because Conte tried it and it was quite good for a while, and then he went off the ball, didn't he, when he did that tackle against AC Milan and got sent off, where he went in recklessly, right? He's on his day, he's fantastic, but he doesn't have enough of those fantastic days, does he? He's more like you say, a 2, a 3, then you'll get an 8 or a 9 from him, then you get a 4 and a 5. It's so inconsistent. And I just, if he could keep up his consistency and not have that bozo moment on a pitch, because he'll always have 1 or 2 bozo moments nearly every game. Yeah, and he sucks. Sometimes he gets away with them, sometimes he doesn't. So it doesn't
He's got
surprise
himself
me.
a reputation here as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, people say it's not fair. Yeah, life ain't fair either. Like I keep telling people, I shouldn't have to leave my fucking car door locked up when my front door locked up. But if I don't, some certain person is going to come running through there and try and steal everything I've got. That's just welcome to the real world on the dog-eat-dog side. It is what it is. And Romero has got that mud on his back, and it is his fault. Nobody else's fault. That is his fault. And he's now tarnished with it. And that ain't ever going to go away in the Premier League, where another player might get a yellow card or might get a warning. He'll get a yellow card or a red card just because he's known for what he's known for. He's only got himself to blame for that.
I personally think, right, that he's born in the wrong era. If he was in Roy Keane's era or Graham Roberts' era or even Dave Mackay's era back in the day, he would get away with a lot of that because referees were more lenient.
So would a lot of players. It's 2026 now, and I think a few of us just have to see it like that.
I just personally, just on Romero himself, if he was in a different era, he'd get away with a lot of what he does. But because they're so hot on everything now, you get a bloody yellow card, you get a red card straight after. even if it isn't that particularly a dirty foul. Because I've seen dirty fouls, and he does commit some dirty fouls, but some of them you think, why did he get sent off for that? Like the Fernandes one, when he got sent off at Chelsea when we played them at White Lane. He put his foot up and he followed through, but he didn't mean to follow through. But Fernandes, he was very clever. He rushed towards Romero, and then Romero gets
Yeah.
sent off.
But that's because Romero is a fucking dickhead in that aspect. He has done it to himself.
Yeah.
And
He
for
knows,
5 years,
he knows he's
I don't
coming,
think,
so he shouldn't do it.
apart from living off Messi's back with Argentina winning leagues and that, and okay, he won the Europa Cup with us, but so did Brennan Johnson. Yeah. You know, he's really done
True.
nothing to justify keeping him, has he? Or am I just being too harsh on the fella?
I don't know.
Well, I don't think you're being harsh. I think you're being real.
Yeah.
Because what he does, he's reckless sometimes. But when he's on it, like in the Europa Cup final, he was brilliant. When the showcase is on him, you know, when it's a big game, he'll come and perform. Yeah. And then when you're playing your Burnleys and your Bournemouths and all the lower clubs, right, even though they finished above us, most of them, he'll just do something stupid. And when you're playing your Man Cities and your Man United, he shows up. But this season, he didn't against Man United away. He came out like a bozo and fouled Casemiro, gets sent off after all that chat before the game, saying I'm gonna do this, that, and the other, and I'm gonna be a good boy. And then he goes and does that. It's ridiculous.
It's the other thing he went and done, wasn't it? He went and give it all off about his owners. I mean, we all liked what he said, but fucking hell, you can't be much more of a tool if you try. You don't go and slate your boss off in public. Yeah, all right, go round and have a fag out the back with your mates and tell everyone how much of a wanker the fella is. But you don't go and do it so your own fucking boss hears it, do you? So technically,
I get that.
he should have been stripped of his captaincy and he should have been put on the side. If we was a real big club and acted like one, that is what they would have done. Chelsea wouldn't have put up with that shit. Arsenal didn't put up with that shit. Look at the players they booted out as soon as Arteta came in. And other clubs and that, they'd have had him out already, basically, in that aspect. But, I mean...
Or if he had something to say, he's the club captain. He could have just went and knocked on the bloody door, couldn't he? Let's be honest. He didn't have to...
A lot of things are going round in the background that he was making it very toxic in there, training when he only wants to train and everything else. But again, it's only stuff you read, you don't know. I mean, Tommy G said Romero's a winner. It's the truth. Okay, yeah, he has won things. Yeah, so's Brendan Johnson. You know, I mean, what do you want me to say about it? Romero has done nothing to justify being a captain. He's been terrible captain. He's been nothing to justify keeping him. But I thought we'd get more than 25 mil for him. I thought we'd at least get maybe 40. I didn't think we'd get more than that, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. 25 million for him, and he's still got about 3 years on his contract because he signed the last one last year, and I think everyone knows why a new contract was signed. He was on the way out anyway. People wanted him out. He wanted to go, but no one wanted him.
Yeah.
So we upped the contract, hoping that this season we'd get more money for him. That's what I think happened there, and he didn't say no to it because it was more money in his back pocket.
So, but did they put the release clause in there though as well?
And when you're buying a player, you want to get a player who's available, and he's half and half, isn't he? He's available half the time and not available the other half, right? And then you've got the sending offs. I mean, a lot of players get sent off, but he's not particularly bad at getting sent off. Not as bad as some people say he is.
I think
he's got
that.
sent off 6 times, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
I think
but
it's just the amount of stupid moments he's had, isn't it? If it's the amount of stupid decisions he's made. And quite a few of them,
against Newcastle once, right? It was a rainy day and Davis was on the other side and he saw Davis weren't getting there and he steamed into Joe Linton. He's not scared of Joe Linton. He steams into him and he slips and he catches Joe Linton's leg and the referee let him off it because it was a rainy day. But on another day, a referee might have said, right, you're off, mate. You know?
I mean, in that aspect, are you too happy to see the back of him when he goes. I don't think there's no if about it. But when he
I'm
goes,
in
are you happy to
I'm
see the back of him?
I'm in two minds because I like him when he's on it, but he's like those bozo moments. He just annoys me because I think you're better than that, Romero. But
How many games did he
he
play
lets
last
himself
season?
down by going in too hard. Yeah, and ah,
How
I
many
think
games did he play
frustration.
last year?
there's frustration because he's got it in him to give an 8 or 9 performance or even a 10 performance, you know, and he lets himself down and he lets us fans down because we know he's better than that if he just performs at that
But if you
level.
haven't got the mentality, then you ain't got the mentality. I mean, here's a
Yeah,
perfect example for you.
it's
And
true.
Dombele, what a fucking skillful
I
player that
know.
was and what he could have been. But he was
Brilliant.
more interested in ordering a fucking McDonald's on the
I
pitch than he
know.
was actually playing football. I mean, look how much weight he put on when he started playing for us. It was
He
absolutely
likes a bit
shocking.
of jerk chicken as well,
Yeah, you
because
could
I was
tell.
in the jerk chicken shop and he came in and he ordered the works.
I can imagine. I can imagine, Ellie. There's
Opposite
probably
the
reasons
Spurs
behind it.
ground,
Yeah.
the Brown Eagle, it's called.
But are you too happy to see the back of him? The fella's going to be on his way now, hopefully soon. I think it's about time that he
I'm
goes.
not going to say I'm happy to see the back of him because I do like him as a player. You know, I like the hard nosed players, right? The
Yeah,
ones who
yeah,
get stuck in and roll this. But
yeah.
my other half of me thinks I am glad to see the back of him because he lets us
He's
down.
a liability. He's a
Yeah.
liability. Like
So
what
I'm
Pete just said
half and
there. He's a
half. I'm
liability.
split. I'm split because I do when he's on it, like I said, Dan, I like him, right? But he doesn't do it
But
enough.
he doesn't do it enough.
I know.
I mean, there's many ways I can describe it and that, but just plenty of that. He just don't do the job enough.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I mean, Adam, you're going to be glad to see the back of him because I know I am. I've
100%. I mean, if you put it into context, I mean, I don't know how many games he played last year. Um, I'm assuming he only played half the games last season.
no, I think he played a bit more than that.
Was it a bit more than that? All right, but I bet the season before he was at, but I think that was partly injuries, wasn't it?
Hmm.
But I mean, you look at someone like a Senesi coming in. I think we got him on a free transfer. I think he's on 80 grand a week. I mean, what a freaking steal, you know! And
That is a steal. Senesi was a steal.
to think that you're paying 2.5 times the wage of that guy for someone that in a split second could end up putting us we lose a match. It's 3 points lost if he loses his head. And I think the risk factor for the amount of money that he's been on. I mean, how many players in our squad that are probably like, you probably add Kinski, bloody Senesi, and a few other players' wages to that, and that equals his. And it's like, he's not worth it. He's not worth the money. I don't know how
It's more.
anyone can justify it.
It's more hassle than it's worth, isn't it? At the end
It
of the day.
is, man. It is, and then, I mean, how can he stay now? I mean, what with Van Heck? I mean, I think Van Heck's going to be good this year. I've got a feeling he's going to be a monster. So, like, he's not going to be playing. So, what? I don't. He's got to go. He's got to go. It's simple as that. That's why I think other clubs know that. And like I said, I think it's going to be a loan on the last day of the season. I'm so sure about that. I mean, if we sell him, I'll be
I
happy
think
with
we're going.
that.
No, I think we're going to get the money for him,
Oh,
or
I'd
it
love
will
that. If
be,
that
or
happens,
it
I'm
will be what you
happy.
said. Like he goes on loan for the season, and we get the 25 mil at the end of the
Oh,
season. One
yeah,
way or
that's what I
another,
mean. That's
it's going to
that's
go
how it's
like
going
that.
to play because I think clubs know that we just want him off the books. So we might even end up paying half his wages for a season. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. We could have maybe got 35 for him and that, but people know we are
Yeah.
desperate to get
Like
rid
we
of
did with
players.
Højbjerg when we loaned
It,
him out to Marseille with an obligation to buy.
slightly,
It was
slightly
an
different,
obligation
but
to buy,
yeah,
weren't it? But what I'm
yeah.
saying is because we loaned him out because they couldn't afford to pay the wages. Because Højbjerg was on about 120 grand, right? And
Mm,
they didn't obviously want to pay him 120 grand, but they loaned him out to Marseille with an obligation to buy. So
mm.
Romero's on over 200 grand, isn't he?
Yeah, he's some 200 grand a week.
I
But I mean,
I
it's
think
just.
he's on about 210.
Yeah,
I mean,
210, I
if
think.
for
Yeah,
example,
that's a lot of money.
if we were in Europe this year, just say for example, in hindsight, if we were in Europe this year and where Van Heck's come in, you maybe let Danso go, I would have him as number two. But that would be it. Do you know what I mean? It would be, but he ain't going to be happy with that. And then you've got to take the captaincy off him anyway, which is just going to cause, and like
Either
you
way.
say, he's bad in the dressing room. So do you?
I'm going to
Exactly.
go out
So
because I'm going to go out and come back in because I'm getting that Dalek noise again.
that's just Adam's accent. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
thinking
That's
I'm
just
on
our fault.
Doctor Who, not the Hotspur Hood.
It's where I live in Scotland
Anyway,
now.
I'll go out
I'm,
and come back
Yeah.
in.
I think
I
my
mean,
accent's
Dan, how you
changing.
doing, fella?
Yeah, how you doing, Dan? How you doing, mate? Adam,
I'm
how you
alright.
doing, man?
Yeah, nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah, you too. A big up chat. How's the show going? All right? What we talking about?
Right. Looks like Romero's all but done and dusted. 25 mil to Inter, but
How much? 25.
yep, 25 mil to Inter. But Atletico Madrid have come on and basically willing to pay us something like 30, 32 or whatever. So it's saying on the news bit. It's only the news bit. I can only say what it says on there. I thought we'd get more than 25 for him. Now, I wanted him out. I still want him out. But if we only get 25 mil for him, that is a bit of a pull your pants down.
I mean, what do we
Even though I
pay for him?
don't rate him.
42? What do we pay? 42 million?
Either way, he's meant to be a World Cup winner. I mean, Dan, are you happy to see the back of him? Like when he goes?
Yeah, I think it's time, both parties, time to move on from Romero. But that 25 million, when we're getting, how much for Vukovic? 50, wasn't it?
48, I think, with some add-ons.
It goes
Talking
up to
about-
52, I think.
Yeah, they're talking
with the
about
add-ons.
Bergval's priced at 60. This is madness. I know they need to, let him go, but 25 million.
But there's
That's
the
a
proof,
shock.
Dan. There's the proof of two things. There's the proof that people know we are absolutely desperate to get rid of players.
Yep.
So that takes, let's say, just randomly, that takes 20% off the price, yeah? Right, he's going out to a European team and it ain't a rich team. Inter are not rich. Atletico Madrid got a bit more money than Inter, which isn't particularly hard at the moment. But when you sell out to Europe, unless you're selling to PSG, Munich, Barcelona or Real Madrid, you're not really going to get much money for it, are you?
Wow.
And the fact that we're desperate to sell him, it's all starting to add up. And now the time's also ticking us now. I mean, how long we got left on this transfer window? Is it 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
25 days, I think.
Is it sometime in September it ends?
It's September the 1st. I think it's 25 days.
So round about 4 weeks. We'll say we got a month, just for the sake of the situation,
Yeah.
It's starting to get a bit closer and closer and closer, isn't it, Dan? And people know that we want him gone and he wants out and everything else. So we are only going to get tuppence money, but I thought 25, we might get more than that.
I thought it was 40, 50, and we wanted 40 or 50, something like that. And then Inter didn't have the money, but they were Romero's was going to lower his wages or keep the same wages. And now it's dropped to 25 mil. That's madness. Well, I just want it, I want him gone. I want him gone. If this is the deal, just move on to the next one. But 25 mil.
When would
I'm
he be
shocked.
due to come back to training?
Should be there, really, shouldn't he? Oh no, he played in the World Cup, so another week or two.
It's 2 weeks after the final, isn't it? It's a day after that, 2 weeks after that. So I don't know what date that'll be. That'll be Monday, next Monday, will it?
They're allowed 3 weeks off, apparently.
Oh, is it 3 weeks? Blimey.
Yeah.
I thought Guy Romero was this top defender, and that everyone would be wanting him. What's going on?
Oh no, he's a top defender when he wants to be.
And that's the problem, isn't it?
But he's lowered his price as well, isn't he, by his behaviour? So he's played his part in that big time.
That's crazy, man. Can't believe it.
It is. I think that's one of the ones. Like with a lot of the players we want to get rid of.
If only he wasn't born with the bozo gene.
25 million. Wow.
It's basically to the point of there is a lot of players we need to ship out of that place now, and everybody knows it. Yeah, there's one or two that people might be interested in that we're not so desperate to get rid of. But everybody knows it and everyone can see it. And even down to what I think it was Rain who brought it up the other day, and he actually did make quite a fair point on the aspect of we have fuck all homegrown players. And if we want to buy more, Ashla put it, more international players as such, we need to shift off a load of them, don't we? And people just know we are desperate. So whenever we're going to buy anything, it's going to be an extra 20% on, and then another 15% on top if you're just buying from the Premier League. We got to start shafting some of this shit out of there, surely, haven't we, Dad?
Did you hear De Zerbi talking today? Talking riddles again, weren't he?
I'll bring that up.
Yeah,
I'll bring that up a bit later, mate. I've already got that one. I'm already on that one.
I bet you are, mate.
I must admit, it is one of those ones of
Yeah.
yeah. Do you know what? Let me just look on my where is it? Because I didn't upload the bloody logo that came on here. It just takes a second to kick in, so I can upload it on here.
Is it calling Enoch the father or something? When he going on about the father? He's calling them Enoch the father. Oh, mate, honestly, he's lost me.
He's the Joker, isn't he?
There's a couple of things we know what the manager's got to do and everything else in that, but this one has given me a major red flag. Not one necessarily for De Zerbi. I mean, because people say De Zerbi talks facts, this and that and everything when it suits them, like when we talk about Kingsky. But then they seem to forget that Vicario was the number one keeper and he's going to stay our number one keeper. Another thing, we all know a manager has to bullshit his way through it to an extent.
Yeah.
But then what extents do you go to? Do you go to this extent?
Oh, no.
Roberto De Zerbi says there are not many strikers in the league better than Solanke. You're like, as soon as you see that, you're like, okay, red flag. No, fuck the red flag. You want to put a rainbow flag on that one. That is how dangerous that and fucked up that one is, yeah? That ain't no red shit. That's a rainbow flag, yeah? And we all know what a mess that shit is. I like him as a player. I like him as a guy. Good luck. Have a beer with him then, but please don't play him. There are not many strikers better than Dom Solanke in the Premier League. That doesn't say much for the fucking Premier League, does it? I want to keep him because I like him as a player. He's a complete striker. He can attack the space. He can cover the ball. He's able with the ball to link. He's able to get us 15 to 20 goals in a Premier League.
He's only done that once in his whole career.
Where do we go with that one? I mean, come on, Ellie. Like, surely you got to rescue my mind here somewhere, yeah? Because, like I said, I'm seeing a fucking rainbow flag there. This manager's actually got me worried. I know he has to bullshit it. I know he does, but come on. I don't
want to have what De Zerbi's smoking. Just put it that way. he needs some new glasses. Even though he don't wear glasses, I think we should put a pair of glasses on him so he can see the real Solanke.
I mean, surely we all know
the old Solanke nickname for no reason.
And surely we know that is surely bullshit, Ellie. He's just chatting bullshit there for the sake of... the thing I'm worried about
BS.
I know that,
BS. Because he knows we're keeping him. He knows we're keeping Solanke, and we're probably
telling you... Is this telling you, Ellie, that maybe he's just dropping it slightly, like, just
can you hear me
a little bit? Yeah, I can hear you. That he's just dropping it slightly in the aspect of we ain't going to get a striker, and here we are, basically. Because to me, this is looking very threatening. I'm feeling intimidated by this.
He's gone insane.
sounds like he's playing mind games with the ball.
Yeah, he's telling me that he's gone insane if he thinks Solanke...
He obviously don't. Surely not, yeah? I mean, if he genuinely thought that, then that's another fucking flag on there, yeah?
That's what it is.
For me, it looks like he's dropping the idea, really, that we ain't going to get a striker.
Do you know what? He's so Spursy. Just shut up.
I mean, Scott, how are we doing, fella?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I agree with you, Dan. My concern is look, I can't imagine De Zerbi is so clueless that he thinks what he said is true. So I guess some people think that he's saying it to try to give the player some confidence. I think if that's the case, he could do that behind closed doors. He doesn't need to go out to the media. I think you're right. I think he's saying it to prepare the fans for Solanke being our number one striker, and that's what concerns me. There's so much other things that's kind of showing us that that's the way we're headed to. My concern is you're exactly right. That was a message to the fans to prepare them for Solanke being our number one striker this year.
Yeah, I do see I do think that's what's going to happen. I've said I think Richarlison and Solanke are going to be our two strikers, and it's not nice to say that. I mean, Dan, how do you take this?
Look, we've heard this before, haven't we? With Solanke, Ange said it, Frank said it. They all like to. Got some feedback there. Did anyone hear that?
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
was
right.
at
I think you're fine now. Yeah,
I'm all right now. Yeah, that was weird.
It's all right. Ellie's back in sync.
I thought it was the echo thing.
glad.
Echo thing was back. We don't want
not
that, do
good
we?
for a woman to be out of sync.
No, Ellie, a woman should stay at the sink. What do you mean out of sync?
Do you
Come
know
on,
what
don't
I
give me
mean?
that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit. She should be at the sink.
I didn't go to the sink once today.
No, but come on, Dan,
I'm
carry on
getting
what you're saying,
withdrawal
mate.
symptoms.
Sorry, I lost my. That's killed us. That Deserby quote, that's really thrown us, man.
Oh, no.
That's just going crazy. Look, he did say a little bit more in these. He did talk about. He said, what did he say? He said something about like, let's finish the transfer market and then we'll speak better about Solanke. So he hasn't 100% said he's going to be the number 9, right? He hasn't 100% he's going to be the number 9. I think he's hoping for another striker to come in. But he's saying the same as Ange. He's saying the same as Frank. And there's that thing, isn't it? He doesn't want to call he's not going to go out in public and say he's shit, isn't he? He's going to obviously big him up because I think he's going to be our striker. Richarlison's going to be our striker as well. So I just think, guys, honestly, we all know Solanke's not good enough. Deserby deep down knows he's not good enough. And we just have to pray that we get another forward before the end of the transfer window. Otherwise, we're in shit's creek, aren't we, really? Because I think if it's going to be Richie and Solanke leading the line for most of the season, mid-table, maybe a little bit more. That's it. We've got to be honest with ourselves. Unless we've got someone putting the ball in the bottom of the net, back of the net, we're going to be struggling.
With what we've got at the moment, I mean, with what we got at the moment, I could still say we could get an 8th. And depending on our friendlies, depending how friendly the injuries are with us this season, which they're already starting to fucking cripple people, but then Maddison, over the past year or so, you might as well just leave him on the side in a fucking wheelchair. He's only just started walking again and he's back in it. We've seen that happen with players of his caliber. Like he's brittle. We can all see he's brittle now. Maybe he wasn't that bad 3 years ago, but he's brittle, and you can see it. And we have had trouble with a lot of players in that. Maybe if the injuries are a bit friendlier with us, and maybe if a couple of things go our way as such, which it just really hasn't in the past 2 years. It just has not gone for us in any means or manner. We could maybe fight up for a 7th place or a 6th place, and that's pushing your fucking luck. That's depending on how the other team. I mean, we all know Arsenal, City, Liverpool are gonna actually smash that league. And then it's going to come down to, you're going to have your Chelsea. How's Villa going to do? I don't think Villa are going to be the force they were, but Newcastle, they're fucked, if you ask me, to just be honest. There's going to be a couple of other teams in there that want to go for it as well, who can actually score goals. And then that is where our problem will be. That'll probably keep us in an 8th place, isn't it?
But look, I agree, man. I think, possibly 8th we could do if everything goes to plan. I was speaking to Nigel on the phone earlier, and we were talking about, because we're very pessimistic as Spurs fans, aren't we? We're thinking the worst.
It's called realistic, Dan. It's called, us pessimistic ones are realistic.
Yeah, exactly. And, there could be a scenario where Kulu, comes back. We've seen the videos today. He's running. Kudos is running. Solanke scores some goals. Maddison stays fit, scores some goals. And, we might be surprised, but come on, let's be honest. It's unlikely. It's unlikely to happen, isn't it? Injuries. We need consistent people who are going to create goals. We need goal scorers. And if we don't get them, it's just going to be... What did I say? I said in the chat earlier, Scott, something, isn't it? About if we end up with Solanke and Richarlison up front, it's just going to be another average season. If Spurs go out and sign a couple of top players, then we could have a really competitive season. And that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
It is a big difference in it, definitely, yeah. But if we end up not signing anybody else up front, some people are going to call this window a disaster. Some are going to say it's not so bad. Some are going to say it's still... I would still say overall, it hasn't been a bad window and better than average. Yeah, I'd still say you could give it a 7 out of 10. Why? Because you can project. Okay, Man U went up from like 16th to 3rd or whatever it was, and that yes, and they got the strikers, but we had problems all over that fucking pitch. The whole thing was a mess, from the goalkeeper to the defenders to the midfielders to the strike. The whole thing was fucked, and I think we've done it the right way in sorting it out the easiest way, i.e., sorting defenders out. Because defenders, there's plenty of them. There's loads of them. Plenty of good ones out there to get as well. Get the defence sorted out. Get the midfield sorted out, because I feel you control a game in midfield, not up front or defence. Obviously, it depends how you play, but midfield is a place you control the game as such. And we've definitely sorted the midfield out, as long as everything lands good. And up front, we've done absolutely sweet FA. But surely that is a major improvement. I mean, if I would have said 8th place to most people before we'd even bought anyone, I think most people would have bit my hand off for it, if we're going to be totally honest. It still don't sound good for the club, but we've just been back-to-back 17th and in a fucking relegation battle.
Yeah.
So would it be so much of a disaster?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be a disaster. And I agree with you. And we've got to remember here, we had to spend this money to get us back being competitive again. So we had a lot of work to do, and it's been a good start. I just think, Dan, I don't know if you can take yourself back to the beginning of last season. I can't remember what you said now, mate. You have to remind me. Were you happy with the window?
I said the window was respectable. We had other things we should have done, but I didn't think the window was that bad because the calibre of player we brought in. I thought we brought in some all right players. The one I definitely got wrong there was that waste of space Moane. I mean, fuck
I think
me.
we all
What
did,
an
didn't we?
absolute fuck up that turned out. I mean, that was worse than a Timo Werner. That's going some. To say that is worse than a Timo Werner.
Yeah.
But
And did you
I
see
thought
the
he'd do all
welcome
right
he
because he
got?
was good at
Bloody hell.
Juventus. He was all right at Juventus.
Yeah, he got a massive welcome in the dressing room. One player, I thought he's going to make love to him.
Ooh, mind you, in these dressing rooms, Ellie, you never know.
But there's
No,
a
it
theme
was
there,
like,
guys.
oh, it was OTT. Honestly, you've got to see the videos.
Oh, I
Oh
don't want
my
to see it.
God!
I don't want to see that.
No, I don't want to
Yeah,
see them
it's
videos,
horrible.
Ellie. Not if that's what
Horrible.
happened in the dressing room. But go on, Dan, carry on
But
what you
yeah,
were
I was
saying,
just
mate.
going to say there's a theme, isn't there? There's a theme. You know, we do some good business, but we don't finish it off. This is what I'm worried about this one, because I think we could have done with a couple more players last window. We needed it, didn't we,
Yeah.
last season? We were
I
short
can agree with that.
with injuries and so on. And this is the same thing here. Some good business, but you know, will the club bring in a couple of players? It looks like they will. It's a big old struggle, isn't it? It's a massive struggle. And also,
Yeah.
you'll probably go on to it, Dan, about his other comments as well. He is putting pressure on the board to hurry up. He is putting the pressure on. The way he words it, he's doing it in a way which, you know, doesn't look like blatantly calling out the board, but he is actually saying, hurry up.
He's basically
Yeah.
poking, isn't he? Like
I
poking
think that's
at
what it is. I
He's
think that's what it
poking
is.
the bear.
Yeah.
Well, poking the bear, you need to shoot this bastard of a bear, mate, because it ain't fucking moving nowhere, that's for sure. Dietrich, how you doing?
I'm good. How's everyone doing?
We got
Yeah, good, mate.
All right, Dietrich.
At the moment, same Spurs, different day. It's gone back to that one for me.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of those days.
Because it all started off so well, didn't it?
Yo, boy, it's like. Have you ever guys watched like a boxing fight? The fighter starts extremely well, like the first 5 rounds, and then absolutely gets decapitated. That's
Yeah,
what's right now.
I've seen it.
Like, it just hurts me when I see, like, honestly, like, a lot of people are gonna say we had a good window. I think we had like poor window at the moment. In my personal opinion. No, I'll say poor
window, man.
No. Wait.
No, go on. Say what you're going to say.
Yes, Tonali is 100% like elite talent. Don't get me wrong, excellent player. I always loved Tonali. That's an excellent buy.
Yes.
Matias Fernandez, I would say a 50-50. Yes, he's consistent. Yes, he's injury free. But is he gonna make that step up at Spurs? That's a question we don't know. And for me, there were better players and way cheaper than him. You could have bought 2 for 1. For example, Kone. That's the perfect example.
Yeah.
Then you look at Van Hecke. Excellent buy. Don't get me wrong. Way better than Romero. More consistent and can fit the system. Senesi, don't get me wrong. Excellent free agent. Good buy.
Yeah.
But our biggest issue was forward, and we still haven't signed a forward.
Mm.
Because for me, instead of because we focus on, yes, the midfield was an issue, but I wouldn't say it was the
Major
biggest issue.
issue.
Major issue. The biggest issue where we finished 17th twice was forwards. Son was a decline. Brennan Johnson was a purple patch player. Richie was never fit. Solanke is never fit. And we don't have a fit number 10. So
Yeah.
tell me, like, how can it be a good window and we didn't address our biggest
But I
issue?
think, Dietrich, I think it wasn't just up front that we lost the games. How many games did we lose because of
And a
some
goalkeeper.
goalkeeper moment? Yeah.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, Vicario, for me, I still think Vicario is one of the best shot stoppers in Europe when it comes to a split-second shot stopping decision. The second he has to use his brain or grow a pair of bollocks, he's fucking useless. You might as well cut him off and get him out playing in the women's team. It's just, he leaves a lot to be desired there, doesn't he? And then defence cost us games quite a few times as well, like with Romero having his dickhead moments walking up the pitch and not running back. Van der Ven, second half of the season, was a fucking total mess as well. The whole system was, the whole system was a complete
system was
mess.
crap, wasn't it?
I agree, Dan, but for me, like, even, like, it's just a fact. The hardest part in football is scoring goals. Conceding is not the hardest part. And what we struggle is scoring goals. And you know where another issue I'm going to mention too? We have an unknown quality as a goalkeeper. So you're going with two issues. You don't have a fit forward, and you have an unknown quality as a goalkeeper. So are you happy with this window? For me, I'm not.
Not so far. Not so far, is
Go on,
it?
Dan.
It's not finished. It's not finished yet, is it? The window's not closed. We have to judge it by the end of it. But if you were going to judge it now, it's not a good window. You're right, Dietrich. We haven't got the players that we need in this. Desperately need. We need three forwards. Let's be honest here. We need three.
I
We need three
know.
players up there.
Yeah, it's not a
One-
disaster. I agree there with Dan. Disaster isn't the word I would use, but if we don't sign any more forwards, I do think it's a massive failure. But in part, for me, I don't think we fixed the defense, and I know other people feel differently about that. I don't think we fixed the defense, and I think goalkeeping is a major issue. So, for me, I think it's a massive failure if we don't sign any.
We do things by halves, don't we, at Spurs? Right? They'll fix one area to a point, and I agree with Scott. We haven't fixed the defence completely because Van Hecker's he's a very good footballer at bringing the ball out. He lacks pace, but he is a good defender. Senesi, not too bad, but they're not top class defenders in my book. And then we've got the understudies in
But they're going to be
Danzo.
more consistent than Romero.
Probably
The centre
yeah.
backs.
I would
My
say
concern is left back. Left back's
on the left
terrible.
side because we got Udogie and Robertson, haven't we? So it's not the bee's knees, right? And then we have, like I said earlier on Two Mark show, you build a house, you've got to put a roof on it, right? You can't just. They leave us short every season. They do. And they've done it for 26
it's
seasons.
like Beyonce says here. To dare is that will fucking do. No, for me, mate, that's close. But for me, it seems to be with Spurs. It's more to dare is to make do.
But look,
it's like we seem to just make do with what we fucking get in the end of it, don't we? To dare is to make do.
Dan, my biggest issue is like, okay, yes, defensively we're not the best last year. I get it.
It cost us. It cost 10 or 12 points.
It did, but how about you? For me, a window should be like this: you address your priorities first, and then slowly build. We address priorities that we didn't need at first, and I'm saying if let's say Tonali was an opportunistic buy. We put the money. We got the Swans Fernandez. Those are opportunistic buy. That's good.
So was Senesi.
Yeah, but I would have focused.
Robertson.
But I would have focused on the forwards because.
But then we might have lost out on those players.
We maybe. But for me, you need to focus on forwards. And where I hate what we're doing right now, when you focus only on one league, especially on players that play in the top 6 leagues, they can take their sweet ass time. They don't care. And for me, there's better players all around. Like, look at Leao. The guy was available from day one. How about you just go and get him? That's easily 20 goals a season you have.
Possibly. I just think we've done it the right way, Dietrich, in the aspect of getting the players that we knew we had to improve anyway, but we knew we could
Okay,
get.
but let's say
we'd have been fucking about with this at the top. We could have lost out on Tonali, where City and Arsenal wanted him. We would have lost out on Fernandes, where Man U would have had him. We would have probably lost out on Van Hecke, and someone would have had Robertson and Senesi as well. So surely we've done this the right way by getting what we can, what we know we can get the job done. And then
I don't think we would have lost Van Hecke because he was coming for
He likes De Zerbi, doesn't he?
Okay, fair enough.
For me, Dan, though, the other side of that is if we lost Fernandes, okay, we could go get Kone. We could go have got João Gomez. We could go get Adam Wharton. We could go get Alex Scott. Like, there's a lot of midfield options that if we couldn't get Fernandes.
Deep down, we all knew like Tonali was not gettable. I don't know how it happened, but it was never meant to happen at Spurs.
What one's that, Dietrich?
I said Tonali. It was never supposed to happen.
No. I mean, if anyone
and
would
no
have
offense,
said to me a player I'd take, I would have snapped him up all day long.
And no offense,
Kone would have mentioned.
And Kone is a better midfielder. That's just my personal opinion again.
I personally think Kone is a very underrated player. And
so there are other midfielders, but for me, forwards is the narrowest market. So I would go and spend all my money at once in the beginning.
Yeah, whereas me, I'd rather build on what I know I've got there and then spend the hard work on what I've got to do. I think we've done it the right way as such, but are we even going to end up with a left winger? I think we're going to get Savinho. I mean, what does anyone else think? Does anyone think we're actually going to even end up with someone?
But do you actually want Savinho? That's the question.
Yes, I do.
I think we'll end up with Savinho for sure, but I don't know beyond that.
Because even... I know we should not be using AI, but I was curious. I just asked the AI, like, what do you think? Who's a better fit? And I was actually looking. Nusa would make more sense than Savinho, because if you play a left-footed on the left, you need a capable striker, and we don't have that.
But he failed the medical on because his back is not good. Ages ago when we were after him, and then Brentford went in for him, and I think he failed the medical there as well. So he ended up not being bought. So maybe that's why they want to not go there again.
And I'll be happier with Grealish than Savinho.
I agree with you for Kone. Kone, yeah, he would have been a fantastic guy.
Grealish is. I think we've actually got to start looking at these. I mean, if you're going to ask me seriously about it and that, I mean, even though I can't stand the prick, I'd say Rashford's a better call than Savinho, because I know he's a very patchy player as well, but Rashford has actually proven to me that he can score goals in the Premier League. Savinho hasn't done that yet.
Mate, Leao is legit. AC Milan want to give him a loan with an option to buy.
He played as striker last season, if I remember right, most of the time.
And he still gives you 20 goals a year.
There's two people who's proven scoring goals. When has Savinho ever proved that he can score double figures?
Only once in his life.
Did he even score double figures in Spain?
I think
yeah,
so.
I think
he had 9 goals and 10 assists, wasn't it?
Yeah. 19G.
My biggest concern is it doesn't seem like we have even any idea or plan at forward what we're going to do other than dragging out Savinho. Which even then, he's not my top choice. I don't think he's worth the money. But if that's who you want, then give City 70 million and be done with it a month ago, and have him coming in. Like if that's the guy you want, is it really going to matter if you pay 60 million or 70 million for him? Like just pay the money and get him in. I don't want to spend 60 or 70 on Savinho, but if that's what we're doing, let's get him in. Then at least you're partially done and dusted. You know what you're doing. You know which kind of left winger you have. Because right now we don't know what kind of wingers we're going to have. What does De Zerbi want? There doesn't seem to be a plan at the club at all for how to deal with this. And I could be wrong, and maybe they'll sign 3 guys in the next week, but there seems to be no plan.
Well, Scott, this is what he said today. So he spoke about the 5-year project. So I don't know if you guys heard him what he said there, and he's talking about the owners being a father, which just I don't know what he's going on about there. And it sounds like he's kind of got on board with this recruitment so far this summer. But then he's also saying, I'm not going to ask for players that are not going to fit the project. But then he follows up and he says, when you identify the right player, you need to move quickly and spend. So I think that is a message to the board, saying, look, we've got a plan, because he spoke about it. Mid-March, he said we had a plan. They planned it mid-March. Don't hesitate. The right player is there. Go and get them. So I think he's calling out the board. I think he's telling them to go and get. So, Scott, when you say there's no
doing it in his
plan,
own way.
yeah, I think there is, but the club are stalling.
Dan, do you know what would make sense?
It's concerning if there's a plan since mid-March and it's August 5th today and we don't have a single attacker.
Scott,
That's the club's issue, isn't it? Then it's Enix's issue, the recruitment team.
Scott, do you know what? It will make so much sense if, let's say, we're winning for Savinho, but the main striker is Osimhen. Then I can see the plan. I can see someone that's just going to cross the ball, no one that's going to win every header and score goals. But if you're just winning all this time for Savinho and you're not buying a striker, then there's no plan.
Yeah, that's what I don't get it.
No,
there's no way. And there's no way
I don't think it's because there's no plan.
No, there's no plans.
I don't think that it's because no plan. It's just the incompetence.
What do you mean by no plan, guys?
Our club are incompetent.
Guys, what do you mean by no plan? Dan, what do you mean by no plan?
For me, no plan is basically in the sense like last year you wanted Savinho, and the year before you wanted Savinho. Where's the plan in that? Every manager, like you change every manager every season. How come every single one of them wants Savinho? Where's the plan in that? It should change.
Something.
A plan always change, depending on the manager.
Basically, you should have a list of players that you want there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can't get that one, then you go for that one, that one, that one. Okay, if you can't get all 5 of them, you're pretty fucked. But you've given yourself a bigger list, and it looks like we are only looking at Savinho there. Basically, a plan is when I think we do have a plan, and I think they've already done it, and that's build it up from the back of where they can get the players in, get the midfielders in, leaving it to the point where we desperately need forwards, but it is the hardest one to do. So I think they did have a plan with it as such. But I think it's got to that final bit and just fallen off a fucking cliff.
And that's the recruitment, right? Lange, whoever else is making these phone calls, it's their problem, isn't it? They're not doing it. They're not getting the business done. We're
failing. Not getting anyone out of the Premier League, are we?
I think there's a lot involved in these big signings, though. I do believe that. I think that there's so much involved with it, and I think, I don't know, maybe are we being a little bit impatient? Do you know what I mean?
Well, Telani wasn't a problem, was it? They went in, bang, got him. Yeah. So why can't we do that with Savinho?
Fernandez.
It's what you've got to do, isn't it?
This is the way of the ENIC. That's the way they operate. So why are we surprised? I'm not surprised.
Ellie, no, I thought we had ENIC 2.0, so some people keep telling me.
Yeah,
I thought it was ENIC 2.0.
If you're Man City, though, and you're sitting there and you've just seen us pay probably what they would value someone like a Tonali or a Fernandez of like 15, 20 million more, and then suddenly we're putting the same money to the table as we did last year, they're going to be thinking, fucking hell, we could squeeze another 20 million out of this. Do you know what I mean? Because they know that teams have got us by the balls, mate. We've set the precedent, really.
So what
they see us coming, don't they?
So, Adam, what you're saying, mate, is basically they've upped the price, and that's why it's not gone through.
I don't know. I'm just surmising. Do you know what I mean? Because I just think we've sort of set the precedent. You know, like going in with these big money transfers. I mean, like even Van Heck at the beginning of the window. I mean, a player in the last year of their contract. I mean, how often do you see people paying silly money? Like I just think other clubs are getting a little bit. They've seen what we're doing. They see what we're building, and they're thinking, do you know what? Like, wait a minute here. You know, if they're a club that, and they know that our club makes a ridiculous amount of money compared to other clubs. So at the end of the day, they know if this is, and they know the pressure that the club's under with the fans, and obviously two 17 finishes in a row. You know, we've got so far to this point of which I believe that when you've got a good structure in the defence, and then any players that are like attacking players can see that there's a good structure in the midfield. it's going to entice you to sort of be a, you know, if you are like a Harry Kane or a top striker out there, and you're like, oh, they've got him on the wing, they've signed him. Do you know what? I'm going to get loads of service. I'm going to get, you know, I'm going to get. I've got Pedro Porro behind me. I've got this
When you
person
can see
behind
the
me.
squad is building, basically, it can have more of a pulling power on it, can't it?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. But I think that comes with a price, and I think that everything comes with a price, and it's going out early in the window and saying, I want this player. Like, you know, clubs have just gone, well, this is what you got to pay, you know, and it gives them the opportunity to spend their money on what they need to do. So I think it's a bit of a merry-go-round, to be honest. And I think, you know, that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and I just think, you know, if they're being held to ransom for Savinho, I mean, move to your next target. You know, we need these players in now. Yeah, it's
Very much
pre-season.
so.
We need them to integrate into the team before the start of the season. So, is he coming or is he not? If we can't agree a fee, what we waiting for? Just bloody move on to the next target. I don't know. It's just so frustrating, guys.
It is down to that.
That's what I don't
isn't it?
understand.
Yeah,
Like, if
like
you're
why 3 years we've been trying to sign this fella now, innit? 2.5 years, 2.5 seasons, or whatever we've been trying to get him.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
go on
crazy.
with what
If
you
you're-
were saying, Scott. Go with what you
I was
said.
just going to say, if you're Arsenal or you're City and your team is settled and you're saying, for example, we're Arsenal, we only want Bruno Guimaraes. He's the only one that fits for our profile because we're such a great team and everything is settled. We can only focus on Bruno Guimaraes, so we're going to take time getting him. Fair enough. When you're Spurs and you need a total revamp of your front line, you need 3 to 5 players ultimately. I don't know how you can focus, like Savio is the only one. Like you said, in March, they should have said, and he said, what's the plan? This is the style of winger we want. This is the style of striker we want. This is the other profile of winger or winger 10, whatever it is that we want. Those profiles should be identified, and there should be, 3 or 4 at each one? These are the profile of players that fit there?
Yeah.
Like, this is, we are so desperate. I'm not saying just go get anyone, but when City focuses on one person, they say, look, we're only going to get Semenyo. When you already have a settled 11 plus a quality backup depth players, you can focus on one player. When you're 17th 2 years in a row and you have the worst attack in the Premier League, how are you focusing on one player? How is there not 3 or 4 players that fit what you need? And if somebody's being a pain in the ass like City are, then you move on to the next club. Because there's plenty. Dan tells us all the time, right? Italy is poor. There's players in Italy you can go out that will have the same profile as Savinho. There's players in Germany that will have the same profile. There's players in Spain that will have the same profile. Go and move on to them. And it just seems like when I say we have no plan, because there's no evidence that we're moving on to any other player.
They
shouldn't need
wrapped this deal
Savinho
up.
to know what kind of striker to get, right? We know what we want. We can get the striker.
I agree, Scott, and I just think they should have wrapped this up weeks ago. And now what's happened now? Maresca's come in there. He's had a look at Savinho. Now he's probably thinking, I might keep this player now. This is the problem now. They should have moved weeks ago, got the deal done. If they couldn't do the deal, move on to the next target. Now we've got this
10
problem.
minutes, mate. Sorry.
Now we've got this problem now, aren't we?
Or you want, let's say, a Voltamati. I think you wanted him. I'm not saying that's who they wanted, but you wanted a Voltamati. Well, now they've sold Guimaraes, they've sold Gordon, and they've sold Tonali. Maybe Voltamati isn't available. You wanted Watkins from Villa. Well, now they've sold Tielemans, they've sold Rodgers. Maybe they're not as such a need. I'm not saying these are the guys we're going to, but this is what happens when you leave it so late, is that other clubs start to have issues where the players that would have been available in June and July are no longer available in August.
I mean, Dan, how you doing, fella? Danny, how you doing?
Big up,
good.
Danny.
I'm good. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, just talking about Spurs. Depressing at the
Yeah,
moment.
of course. I can hear
Stressful.
all of you.
Stressful
Sound,
at the minute.
you sound like we've got relegated. What the fuck is wrong with all of you? Like,
Getting
wake
a
the
bit
fuck up.
stressed.
Innit? What the fuck is going
It's getting
on?
a bit scary, isn't it?
Really got
We still got a month.
Shy of it.
First of all, right? Dietrich is the #1 bitch, right? He's the biggest bitch around, and he's my bitch, right? And then the second thing, you lot are talking
don't call me a bitch, Daddy. You're all right.
no, you're definitely not, Ellie. Don't worry. Only Dietrich is.
Yeah. I know
you're
where you
talking.
live.
You're all talking like we've the transfer window's closed and we haven't signed anyone. We've still got like a whole month to go in the transfer window. So I don't know, like, what everyone's worrying about. Like, I understand there's the worry, but also none of you have
So you do
mentioned
understand
during
what
this
people are worried about then?
during this conversation. Not one of you have mentioned the fact that the players that we're trying to buy from the selling club, right? Those players that we've targeted seem to be the ones that they want, or the manager wants, and that's who they're trying to go for. And these type of deals, say what you want, but Tonali, all of you forget, Tonali didn't just happen in an instant. That deal was worked on for a while. That's a big deal, right? It wasn't like one day the deal was done. It was weeks and weeks of work before that deal was done
It was
and
about
announced.
3 weeks, wasn't it? It was
Yeah,
about 2 to 3
nearly a
weeks.
month. So look
Right.
at
And we've
Guimaraes,
been
right?
trying to get Savinho for fucking 2.5 years.
Yeah, but Dan, if the club are refusing to sell or they keep changing the goalposts,
Then we need to
right?
go and look somewhere else.
But who? Yeah, but what if they don't want someone else?
Man
they're
City
They've got a
are the
incompetent.
fucking
bitches,
problem
Danny.
then, isn't it? Sometimes, Dan, I mean, you of all people should know it, mate. You ain't going to get your number 10 or your number 9. You ain't even going to get a fucking 8 down there, mate. Sometimes you got to go home with a 4. You know how it works down the pub and that, mate. You know, we've all had...
Don't go
it's happened
home
to
with
the
a
best
4,
of us,
lads. Don't go home
you
with
know.
a 4.
Up
Yeah.
until you get to about 22, you don't have many standards. And then obviously you start getting standards.
Yeah,
But
now
at
you've mentioned
Spurs,
the word.
if we can't get Savinho, and we've been trying to do it for 2.5 fucking years, surely we should be trying to get something else. I mean, there's a lot of going about now news that we're going for that. What's his name?
But-
Antonio Nusa from Leipzig.
I don't
What's
believe
he
that
like?
for a second.
I
just think
haven't seen him.
I don't think Noosa's good enough, to be honest. Personally, I think he's
Too many
I think-
injuries too.
yeah, he's not. He's injury.
boy as well.
He's injury prone, and in the World Cup, the other Norwegian boy who plays for, was it Benfica? He was so much better than what's his face, Noosa. For me, Noosa's a no. I think he's not what we need right this minute. I don't know who else we could go for, but look, they clearly want Premier League proven players, right? And I know that we can debate all about Savinho being Premier League proven, but he's got experience in the Premier League, and people can't deny that he's got ability and talent, and he was just mismanaged at City.
Danny,
So,
But why does that stop us from buying a striker, Danny?
okay, let's say you offer from you.
maybe they don't want a striker. I don't know.
Danny,
Then
imagine
that's
you.
incompetence. Why can't we complain about
Yeah, but
that?
how is he incompetent if the manager doesn't want one? Are you the guy watching them in training every day? Do you know what De Zerbi's going to do for the season? Do you know? But Scott, do you know his tactical analysis or how he's going to set up the team for the season? No, you don't. None of us do, right? So how do we know what he's going to do? Maybe De Zerbi, no one has actually mentioned. Maybe, just maybe, De Zerbi wants more versatile attackers, right? Because of what he wants to do.
What, like
Yeah,
Solanke?
well,
Then that's not what we don't have.
Who knows?
Richie and
Who knows?
Solanke's not versatile.
There's no way you tell me
Well,
that
Solanke's
if let's say
more
De Zerbi is
versatile.
offered Yildiz and the Yildiz is not, he's only one-dimensional. You tell me he's gonna say no, De Zerbi. There's no way. Just because
Yeah,
he can't play multiple positions.
I mean,
Yildiz is
it
a different
getting to
level.
That point.
No, but you said like he wants attackers that can do multiple roles. Yildiz
Yeah,
can't.
Yildiz
I'm
is less
sure-
than that. Is
Yeah,
that.
but-
He's a
Yeah,
left
and that is
inside,
it.
and that is all there is there. And
Yeah,
that's what
you-
we need.
Yeah, so you know that you can tell me that De Zerbi was gonna say no for those type of players.
Say that again, Dietrich, sorry?
I said like like you say like because what's his name, Savinho can play multiple position, multiple roles. Well, there's other players that are pretty elite that can only play one role and one specific style. You tell me that De Zerbi is gonna say no to them,
Yeah, but who? If you're talking about Yildiz, who's going to say no to Yildiz, Dietrich?
but that's my point. So why should we focus on multiple position? Focus on one guy that can do one specific task.
But maybe we can't sign those players right this minute.
No, yes, you can.
No, because the clubs don't want to sell them.
Go to Italy. Go find
This
someone
minute,
else.
it's been the whole window, Danny.
We need strikers who can put the ball in the back of the net.
Which is a
Exactly.
very rare thing nowadays.
Okay, how about you go get a? How about you go get
Strikers
a?
are hard now. Strikers
How
are extremely hard. That is why I think we've done the right thing working from the back up to the
Okay,
front.
there's what's his name? Ezazuli from Real Betis. He's gonna cost you 30 million. Go get him.
Yeah, I liked him. He scored in the
There's no
Conference
strikers
League,
we
didn't
can
he?
get that are better than
Final.
Solanke and Richarlison.
And Danny K, can you please stop
Come on, there's
cooking?
I'm better than Richarlison and Solanke. I'm
There we
telling
go.
you, at 63 years old, I'm better than them. I put the ball in the back of the net. Flipping up. Come on, there's strikers out there that we can still get that are better than our strikers.
Well,
Everyone has a
you would-
price.
You can sign Dietrich's dad.
First of all, Danny K, you gotta stop cooking. You're fat as fuck. So you need to go on a diet.
Now look, it is at that point where we are again just being that desperate and clutching about, and this club doesn't seem to want to sign anybody out of the fucking Premier League, can we? And there are players out there to get, but striker is few and far between, and I think everybody knows that. And that is going to be the hardest one to do. Left winger, yes, there's ones we can go for. But then can we even sell Solomon at the moment? Look at players we still got to get rid of. I mean, technically, with what we've got at the moment, we've got to keep Tell. Tell's going nowhere, I know that, yeah? We've got to keep Tell, at least Solanke or Richarlison, and Solomon, because there's no cover. It's the thing I said earlier was on Mark's show this morning, is everyone's in a panic at the moment about our strike force, up front three and everything else, which is totally understandable. It's fucking diabolical. But if you actually look at that front line we've got, it's not as terrible as people think. It's just the injuries have fucking screwed us over. If you actually go look at that, you've got Kulusevski and Kudus on the right. Even though Kulusevski isn't a right-hand-sided player, he's a 10. Blatantly, shadow 9, and it's or a number 10, and he can even play centre mid. But he's a 10. Cool. He's a 10. He's a 10 through and through. And he's shown that now, yeah? But we can still play him on the right. And then when you got your number 10, you got your option of Maddison, you got your option of Simmons, you can play Kulusevski, you can even play Kudus as your 10, you can even stick Tonali there or Gallagher. Not that you're going to get the same sort of things out of them, but you can. It depends what you want your number 10 to do. And then we go on to the point where we do look very weak, and that's on the left. And that's where you got Tell, or what I personally think, I don't think Simmons was brought here to be the number 10. Not to take Maddison's place, not until he got injured. I think Simmons was brought in to take Son's place. Because out in Germany, I know it was only by a couple on the GA or whatever, but he actually played better on the left than he did on the right. And he got a better XG on the... He got a better goal difference. He got better goals and assists, GA, on the left than he actually did as the 10. I think we actually got him to take Son's place. It's just Maddison busted himself again. And there we were. It's just when you look at it on the strikers line,
Like,
it doesn't look too good. But without the injuries, it's not as bad as it looks, is it?
I think it's pretty bad. I don't rate Kulu at all, especially on the right.
Xavi's a great ball carrier, isn't he? Xavi, he's a great ball carrier. The ball, we saw him last season. The trouble was last season he carried the ball so far, and there's no one to bloody pass the ball to.
It did happen a few times, but he's also
and then he got pissed off every time he passed the ball, and the Richarlison couldn't fucking control it. He used to get pissed off.
Yeah,
you could see it visibly. I mean, I get pissed off playing with someone like Richarlison.
I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, there was times he got up the other end of the pitch and there was no one not next to him, but there was many times as well we just got knocked about like a bit of paper as well because we didn't really have men in the team, did we? And that is one thing we have actually got now. We got some physicality there at last. But is it really that bad if we take away the injuries? Is it really that bad what we've got up front?
Look, let me tell you what I think. Yeah, I just think Solanke, Richarlison, they're not going to get you enough goals if you really
obviously
want to
them two, I know that.
Yeah, them two. I mean, Kulu, we do not know. Again, even when he was playing for us and he was fit, very inconsistent player, very frustrating
because they played him on the bloody right instead of the 10.
Maybe that was the reason, but he was good sometimes, shit other times. I mean, you never really knew what you get from him. Maddison can't stay fit, so it's just simple as that. You may get half of the games out of him. Xavi's not coming back till next year, maybe December, so we haven't really got him at the beginning. So who else is there? Tells, she doesn't get the output. So I think it's very, very poor. I've got to be honest. If we want to be a serious side next season and the forthcoming season, we've got to sign quality in the forward line. It's as simple as that. We've done it in midfield. We've done it in the defence. Go and get it done in this window. If not, we're going to be. It's just going to be an average season.
It doesn't look like we are going to do anything there. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I think we're going to get Savinio. I just don't think we're going to get a striker. I think we're going to have to deal with Solanke and Richie up there. And I think that might have been the hint that De Zerbi might have been dropping.
But the thing is, Dan, as well, right? What you might be forgetting, or anyone, is that there's still a month to go, right, in the transfer window, just under a month. And a lot of teams can still do business in the next couple of weeks, right? So, for example, Everton, just argument's sake, Everton go and pay 30 million for Richarlison, right? Romero goes for 40 million for Atletico Madrid. Sarr goes to Villa for 20 million, right? That's already another 100 million, over 100 million on free players we've just sold, right? Then you've got to replace with one player at least. So that could be the funds for an Osimhen, right? For example. I'm just saying that it all depends on who we can also get out. And I think people are focusing too much on who we can bring in. But it's also one of the biggest things that we need to do is get rid of players. And if because we can't register all the players right now, right?
Nope.
So they have to get rid of in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Vicario needs to go, right? Sarr needs to go. Richarlison needs to go. And who's the other one? I'm thinking of?
Solanke.
Well, no. Realistically, right? Realistically, it's those three that are going to go, right? If you can get rid of those 3 players and you bring in Gakpo and a Savinio, then there's no reason why the club can't go for like an Osimhen.
If you've got to pick one or the other up front, yeah, who do you go for, Richie or Solanke? And it's a horrible question, but who do you actually go for?
If Solanke's fit,
if they're both perfectly fit, up to form and everything,
Solanke.
Who do you go for?
Solanke. He's a better player all round than
just based on how they play, Dan.
Space wherever you want. Who would you go for?
If we could get rid of Solanke this window, I would, because we can not register Richarlison and let him go in the summer. But I think Solanke's going to be harder to move because nobody will want to buy him, and he's on a contract for longer. So if we can move Solanke for anything, I would move him as fast as we can. Get him out of here. Then I don't register Richarlison and tell him you're not playing at all. So I would keep Richarlison in that sense. In terms of them as players, they're both so awful. It's hard to say who. I would be happy if neither one of them played a minute at striker this season, and that means we had to play Archie Gray up front. They're that bad.
I mean, that's just stupid, Scott.
It's a club's
it's
fault,
not
isn't
stupid,
it?
Danny. They're so awful. They're so awful.
For you to say put Archie Gray up front, I mean, come on, what the fuck are we doing here? Archie Gray.
What are we doing here?
Come on, Scott. What the fuck are you actually talking shit for? Really? Now that's even more bullshit from you, coming from you, Scott. I mean, I know you're very pessimistic, but I mean, Archie Gray up front. That's worse than that. That's some of the worst take I've ever heard of Spurs.
And we're not going to take the position seriously. And
fucking Archie Gray.
Charleston is not taking the position serious.
Well, he's going to. I don't take you
seriously if you say Archie Gray should play up front.
I don't take you seriously if you say Solanke should. So there we go.
Solanke's a striker.
He's awful.
No, he's not. He's not awful. He's just fucking injured all the time.
He's bang awful. Average.
He will still get you goals if he's fit. If he stays fit, he'll get you goals.
If you take it in, Solanke's had one good season in his entire career. Richarlison, on average, does get double figures every season. Between, let's say, an 8 and a 12.
Yeah.
And he has done it consistently for about 4 years, hasn't it? I know it took him about 2 years to score for us. But the point I'm making is on average, he does have a better ratio than Solanke overall, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right. He will give you something, but it's like cameos off the bench, isn't it?
It's
when
called
you need
a fucking
goal.
headache, Dan. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
No, but on the honest part, Richie is actually that bit more proven as a goal scorer consistently over years than Solanke. We're sitting here debating on who do we have up front, fucking Solanke or fucking Richie.
He's going to need about 5
Yeah.
or 6 chances, though, isn't he, to put it away? And this is the problem, isn't it? In big games, it's tight and you need clinical finishers. He's just going to let us down. This is it. Against some of the lower teams, he might be all right. Easier games in the league, but when it gets to the crunch time, big games, big moments where you need your forward to step up and be the difference, this is where we're going to fall short.
Yeah. I mean, next thing I want to go to is Bergvall. I've been reading about, again, that there's now 6 clubs over Europe and 2 in the Premier League that are actually interested in him and paying up to 50 million for him. But Spurs are saying he's not going unless we pay 60, unless someone pays 60. I mean, how anyone can justify 60 million for Bergvall, I don't know. But if that's the going price and we could get it, then go for it. But it's also now coming out that De Zerbi has also said that he wants to keep Bergvall till January. Why? Why don't he just get rid of him now if we can get the money for it? Or is he just keeping him as a backup player? I honestly don't know.
I don't know. Bergvall for 50 million seems like the easiest decision of all time. Like, that's a massive amount of money for him. It allowed I don't see what role he's going to play. We have the 4 guys ahead of him clearly: Bentancur, Tonali, Fernandes, and why can't I think of it? And Gallagher are all ahead of him. You could argue Gray's ahead of him.
Gray starts in front of him as well for me.
We have 1 game a week where, even if you say you want to keep Bergvall, where is he playing? Where is he getting minutes?
That's the other player, Scott Bergvall. So if you could tell Bergvall, like how much could you get for Bergvall realistically?
Well, they said 50 million. Someone made a bid, didn't they? 50 million.
Yeah,
and they want more. They want more, don't they, Spurs?
Yeah. They want 60.
So say if we actually did pay someone paid 60 million. That's 60 million for him. What do you think we get for the other players? Just say Richarlison, Sarr.
Sarr, I reckon we can go 20 million, 15 million. I reckon we'd get for him, if I'm going to be honest, because everyone knows we're desperate to get rid of him. So I'm going to cut off Richie. If he goes for anything more than 12 million, we've made a fucking brilliant, brilliant get rid of him now. Solanke, if he went for anything more than 20 million, I'd be absolutely gobsmacked. I mean, Gray ain't going nowhere, is he? Vicario, we're going to be lucky if we see 8 million for him overall. And then maybe a couple in if they get in the Champions League and that, because it does look like he's going Juventus.
Yeah. We've almost talking about him today.
So I do think Savinio, we should just take the 50 million and then we can put that toward... Do you know what? Try your fucking luck. If you don't do the Euros, you don't do the lottery, you ain't going to get jack shit, yeah? Maybe, you know what? I think we need a number 10 desperately as well. Go to Forest, Morgan Gibbs-White. There's 70 million, 80 million even, and
now we're talking.
Have a little bit of Bergvall
give him
as
60, well. Give him 60, 70 million and give him Bergvall.
They won't, 70 or 80 million, I think will turn their head. 60 million, I don't think will turn their head.
No, they
go
would,
offer 70, 80 million and offer Bergvall.
No, because they've already rejected a 50 million pound bid from Forest for Bergvall. So if you give him Morgan Gibbs-White's not 110, 20 million pound player. He's about 100. You can get him for 100 million, I reckon. Right. So if you give him Bergvall 50 million, that's 100 million, 110 million there.
Yeah, but I think you'd really have to turn their head for it and overpay for it, like we have done with others like that.
I don't think they would.
Or if that doesn't work, sell Bergvall and sell Bentancur and bring in an Alex Scott. There's players out there, right?
Alex Scott's not a goal scorer. No, thank you.
There's another one that they're talking about with Alex Scott that they want 80 to 100 mil for him.
No, thanks.
There's players out there we can go out and get that improve the squad.
I agree.
I would like Morgan Gibbs-White. I've said it. I think something happened last year that we did something wrong, and that's why he's not coming and why he isn't going to come again this year. But if we can get Morgan Gibbs-White, get him. It's easy, but
I agree.
It's not him. I don't know why people don't like Alex Scott. He seems like he could come in. You get rid of Bentancur. He's a foreign player. You get rid of Bergvall, who has no space. Scott can fill in at 10 when we need to. He can be depth player behind Tonali and Fernandez. He's again homegrown player if we're worried about that.
Yeah.
Like obviously go get Morgan Gibbs White, but if it's not possible, there's other moves to make.
So surely, even if we get offered a 40 million bid for Bergville or 50, we got to take that seriously because again, if Forest wanted say 100 million, say they want that 100 million for Morgan Gibbs White, then fuck it, go and sell Bergville for 40, 50 mil. There's half your price paid for Morgan Gibbs White, isn't it?
Yeah, makes sense, Dan. It makes sense, and I think there's somebody at the club who's holding on to Bergvall with dear life. I don't know who it is. Who signed him at Spurs? Who was the guy who?
Hey.
Big up, Cookie. Who brought in Bergvall? Was it Lange?
Depends who you ask. All the Paratici lovers say that Paratici signed every player that's good, but I think it was Lang.
It was Lang, yeah. So they're hanging on to him, aren't they? They think he's going to become some top player. I haven't seen enough yet myself. I think he needs, if we're going to keep him, he needs loaning out. To a team which plays,
That's all he does is press forward, Dan. That's all he does. He presses forward, loses the ball, can't cross, can't pass, can't head the ball, can't fucking shoot. He can't seem to do nothing except run forward.
Nothing good. This is it. And I think he needs a loan. If we're going to keep him, he's got to go on loan before the start of the season and get some game time, see what he's made of, really playing week in, week out hopefully in more of a kind of attacking team, and then see how he gets on, and then see what sort of money we can get for him or keep him. Or depends how he gets on. I think we need to sell him, to be honest. I think it's a £50 million offer there. You got to grab it, go and get a better midfielder in his place, and then really start strengthening this squad.
I agree. Mark, how you doing, mate? How's
Hello,
your afternoon?
mate.
How's your evening, should I say?
Well, I sort of participated in some lunch this afternoon and fell asleep at 5 o'clock and woke up about 10 minutes ago. So deep joy.
How was the lunch?
Very nice indeed, thank you, Danny. Really, very enjoyed it.
So it's going to be. So it's going to be a nightmare of a fucking to sleep tonight, unless you've got some good drugs to put you to sleep, basically.
Oh, I've got the drugs, Dan. Don't worry about that, mate.
That's good, man. Right. Just remember, you got my number. It delivers quicker than a pizza. What do you think we should do with Bergville, Mark? What we got to do with him?
Sell him.
Simple as that, yeah?
Sell him, man. Just sell him. Look, if they're getting the sort of money that they're talking about, and I've seen something tonight as well. I don't know if that was what you were just talking about Bergvall staying at Spurs now.
Because De Zerbi wants him till January, possibly.
Yes.
Is that a story? Is that actually a story tonight?
Yeah. Literally just saw it a little while ago. Yeah. So, but for me, if you can get 50 million quid for him, if that's what sort of money that they're talking about, it's a no-brainer to sell him for me. They're going down this track of getting in Premier League proven, or whatever you want to call it as such. I don't think they'll be able to survive going that way, the way they're going at the moment, without looking outside the league. And then that becomes a problem because we've got too many non-homegrown in the squad. So for me, I caught something earlier that Danny said when I was rewinding, having a little watch to catch up a bit, that we've got to start selling some players. I know we want them in, and we've got to sort the forward line out or do whatever they're going to do, but we've got to start selling some players, not for the money so much, just to unbloat the squad a little bit.
It is something we need to do, but it was going to be, I think selling the players was going to be a very hard thing to do in general, because again, it comes back to the fact that we're paying the extra 20% because everyone knows we're desperate. But we're going to be getting, look, if Romero goes for fucking 25 mil, and people know I want to see the back of him, Mark, you got to admit, 25 mil. You expected a bit better than that, basically.
Yeah.
People are just going to wait until the last day of the window or the last couple of days and offer you tuppence money, and it's either take it or leave them with the kids, basically.
Bargains, isn't it, Dan? Bargains.
Listen, how does it work that you can go and sell a kid that ain't played for your team in the Premier League for 46 million quid, but you've got a so-called, World Cup winning defender and whatever you want to call it, whatever you think of him, and he's going for 25 to 30 million? It don't make sense, does it?
Well, we were saying it earlier on here, and it to an extent it just shows how not interested other clubs are in him. That he's obviously not this great one. I mean, Carl, what do you mean here? The injuries don't get enough attention. Do you mean that like people talking about it, or do you mean that as in like the club just don't pay enough attention to the injuries? I mean, either one wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I did mention earlier about the injuries that if we didn't have the injuries up front, we would not look as shockingly bad as we are because we do actually have some all right players there, just not as the fucking strikers. It's just really getting to that point now where everyone is pretty much clutching at straws, isn't we? I mean, to the point that I'm even reading things on the internet. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing when I read this one that Spurs are meant to be willing to put in a solid bid for Sesko.
I saw that, yeah.
So that's not just me that read that.
No, I saw that, yeah. What rubbish.
I mean, seriously, what fucking prick sat there and wrote that? Honestly? I mean, seriously, like we're going to go for Sesko, yeah? That one, I mean, whoever wrote that is definitely on the gear tonight, without a doubt, or he's been on a piss up, one or the other. But fuck me. Sesko, really? Not a chance in hell. I mean, the other one I've seen that we're meant to be very interested in now and willing to pay the money for it is that Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea after his season at Munich. And he didn't have the best of seasons there. I mean, how old's he? About 26, isn't he? Something like that? 25, 26?
Yeah.
I think.
So. Yeah,
something along those lines. And he scored something like 8 or 9 goals last season. Oh. But we're even starting to go for the point where we're looking at Nicholas Jackson. He's not exactly a good player, is he? He's not exactly what we want there.
I think he's 25, Dan.
Yeah. So it's again, it leaves us a lot to be desired up there, doesn't it? Where the fuck do we turn? We're back to the whole point of talking about where do we go from a left and a striker again. It just seems to go round in this whole big circle of covering everything out there, from what De Zerbi said, from selling players, from this and that, and then you're back to square one again of what the fuck are we going to do up front?
I think they're going to end up go and buying someone that might be just that slightly bit better than what Richarlison and Solanke are, Dan. Because all I've heard from the beginning of this transfer window is we've got 400 million, we're doing this, we're doing that, we can do this, we can do that. And then we went on to how we must praise Levy because he's put the club in this position. Mm-hmm. Spend the fucking money then.
It would help, wouldn't it?
Spend the money. If Osherman's the man, and the only way you're going to get him out of where he is to pay him more or do whatever more or whatever it is, people need to understand that ENIC are creating this for themselves again.
I bet, right? But Mark, what are you on about, mate? I thought we had ENIC 2.0, Mark.
Look,
what are you on about?
If we go another week down the line, will everyone be shitting their pants then, or will it be it's okay? We've still got a week till the start of the league and another 2 weeks till the window shuts. I mean, come on, man. We've started off great. Everyone's got a bit of a buzz out of it. Yeah, we've got 6 players in early. Tonali, Fernandes, yeah, lovely. Broke the transfer record twice. Yeah, done all that. So you're going to play, your Fernandes, your Tonali with a Richarlison or a Solanke up front. I'm not disputing they might score a few more goals. They might well do. Richarlison might go and get 12. Solanke might go and get 14. So, who knows? But they're both shit at the end of the day.
Yes,
and
they are.
If we're aspiring to be what we're meant to be, surely 2 17th places with Dumb and Dumber up front, right, tells you the story. End the stream, chaps. We're off. That's it.
I love can definitely tell you had a good sleep, don't you? You can definitely tell the energy's there after a sleep, isn't it?
Mark, you just left out that when we don't sign anybody, we'll hear you can't do it all in one window.
Yep.
No, you'll see De Zerbi will get more out of the players. We'll have that one as well.
We can't replace Solanke and Richarlison in one window. Takes 10 windows before we can move on from those donkeys.
I think they're getting
our target.
Free attackers. I think they're getting free attackers.
I hope you're right, Danny.
I've said that for weeks, and I still believe that.
Yeah, I hope so,
but
Danny.
Danny, you brought something up that I kind of forgot about, and I agree with you. Do you think we need to move on at least one of Richarlison and Solanke if we want to bring in another striker? Do you not think that?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
And it's hard to move these guys on, right?
Do you know why, Scott? I think. Do you know why I actually think that De Zerbi says 2 or 3? I think he says it because I think in the back of his mind he wants Richarlison to leave, right? But the problem is if they can't get rid of him, then they can't bring in that third option. Because I think what they initially want is 2 wingers and a striker, right? 2 versatile wingers, a predominant left winger or left inside forward, whatever you call him. Another one who can play both, right? Like a Savinho. And then you go for a striker, whoever that's going to be. But I do agree that I think that's why he's saying 2 to 3, is because I don't think there's confidence yet whether or not Richarlison's going to leave. And I think the problem with that is that maybe it could be a little bit of Spurs demanding too much money, right? For Richarlison, which is probably the case. But again, if you look at it, how many Premier League goals did he score last season?
11.
11.
So,
Yeah, 11,
I mean,
like
you in this market today, 11 Premier League goals, £30 million, £35 million is not a lot of money for someone who can get you 10 11,
someone would really
goals.
pay that for Richarlison.
Yeah, there are clubs in the Premier League that would pay that. Everton
You think?
is. Yeah, there's an article today that's saying that that Everton do want a striker, but they haven't decided yet on which one it is, and it's between Richarlison and one other. So it just depends on whether or not David Moyes decides to pull the trigger and goes for him. And if he does, then I think bye Richarlison, and we'll see who we're going to bring in.
Maybe he'll go at the end of the window. Maybe teams will be
possible.
desperate.
It's possible, Dan. But Spurs will need to have something in place if that was going to happen, because it would be the most dumbest thing for Spurs to sell Richarlison in the last couple of days and then not bring anyone else in. Now that is fucking dumb.
Yeah, they got to get the targets in first and then get rid.
If somebody is willing to pay 30 million for a Richarlison and we haven't sold him already, what are we doing? Like 10 million, and someone
wanting to, I just don't see someone willing to pay that for him. I mean, like I said, I think if we get offered 15 million and take that, I think we're running all the way to the bank with that one. I mean,
we're giving Romero away, aren't we, Dan, mate? We're giving Romero away for 25 mil.
Yeah,
do you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Are you telling me Romero goes and are you telling me Romero goes for 25, 30 mil, but we want fucking 40 million for Richarlison? Now, everyone knows I don't rate Romero that highly, but no. I don't know, something don't work there.
Yeah, it's just that's
or would it be because we'd be selling to a Premier League club, basically, there's money there, whatever else, whereas in the rest of Europe, bar the big teams, they ain't got a pot to piss in, bar PSG, Munich, and obviously Real Madrid and Barcelona. Apart from that, no one's really got a pot to piss in. Maybe Atletico Madrid, because they're willing to pay 5 million more for Romero. So we'd sell Romero, this so-called quality defender that we've got, World Cup winner, Europa Cup winner, and this and that, for less than Richarlison. I don't know, something don't add up there.
There you go. I'll give him away personally, but you can't, can you? So it's what it is at the end of the day, Dan. Richarlison's shit, mate. I think we all agree on that. Right? And at the end of the day, it's down to the club to do what they've got to do to move him on. You know as well as I do, there's ways and means that they can get him out if they want to, right? That they could have someone on the case, right? Make sure you've made everyone aware that this geezer's for sale. Everywhere around the world, he's for sale at whatever, 30 million, 25, whatever it is. I do this one.
Do you know what I think, Cookie, is the problem with Richarlison? It's not that Spurs don't want him. It's not that Spurs want to keep him, because I don't think they do. I think the problem is no one wants to buy him for the money that Spurs want. So either Spurs have to come down on the price, or someone's got to come in for what Spurs want. It's one of the two, and it depends on what Spurs really want. Are they going to be happy to keep Richarlison for a season? Personally, I don't think De Zerbi would be happy to see Richarlison stay. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
Hope not. But then again, he's just said Solanke's a quality striker. So, like I said, the rainbow flag's out for that one.
Exactly.
You know, it does leave a bit to be desired, doesn't it, in that aspect? Ben, how are we doing after your horrific afternoon?
I've been better.
Are you sure?
I spent 3 hours in a speed awareness call. I got caught speeding. I know,
Bloody
right?
hell.
My
No,
husband
but
went
hear
at
the
a few of
story. No,
those.
no. Let
3
him
hours,
talk.
right?
Listen to the story. Listen to the
Right,
story.
this is
Yeah,
going to
go
be a
on then.
bit of a rumble,
At
okay?
He
least,
saw
at least
a
he's
blonde
putting his own
girl.
neck on the line. No.
I nearly...
Hear
no,
the
bless you.
story out.
I nearly punched the guy who was organising it, right? Because I said on the way out at half-time to a friend of mine that was in there, bunch of criminals, I said, God, I'd have rather taken the fucking points. He heard this, went spastic, and just went off on one. Anyway, we got into it. He calmed himself down. We carried on. Anyway, so I come out of there. I go to hospital quick. I get myself a chest x-ray, all done. I'm on the way home on the phone to Danny. Driving along, you know. I got the phone in my hand, as you do. Like, it's not to my face, but it's in the hand. And I pull up to the gaff. Everything's fine. And I get out, you know, I'm still on the phone. I go to get out of the car. I look to my right. There's a couple of coppers there. Behind my motor. Right? No, it gets worse. So then, right? Me being me, I'm using my noodle. I'm smart. I'm thinking to myself, fuck, what am I going to do here? So I go, Dan. So Dan, yeah, listen, don't worry about whatever happens, mate. Just let me know, and I'll drive to you. Worst case scenario, Dan, Mr. fucking Quicksilver, like quick on his feet, goes, I'm like, Dan. Do you want to, like, yeah, mate,
fuck?
yeah.
Don't even try and portray this.
How did you not grasp I was in trouble when I talked
Finish the
about
story.
Because I did not know the fucking police were following you, did I, you prat?
You were sharp, mate. You were...
No, I might be sharp, but I can't fucking mirror image like what's going on in your life, thank fuck. Seriously, mate, what the fuck are you doing coming out of a speeding test, nearly 3 points, and then talking on the phone with your fucking phone in your hand?
Benji, that is no one's fault but yourself, mate. Why the fuck were you using a phone? Why were you using a phone while driving?
No!
After a speed awareness test?
I know.
Fucking donut. Fucking donut.
But aside from
that is a Benji.
Donuts. Can I have a donut?
So the
You can have
morals
Benji.
of the story is that you should have took the points.
Don't be a
We've got
fucking
plenty
idiot.
of donuts at Spurs. Benji, you should apply for a job at Spurs.
I just want to say on Benji's behalf, it was the sheriff's fault, Dan.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there was a pothole and he was swerving round
That's
it.
it.
He was still talking to me on the fucking phone and didn't realise he had police standing next to him watching him. How the fuck am I meant to know? Now, if I'd have just got a quick word, you've got no defence here. Bollocks, Ben. There's no defence there, mate. If I would have just got a quick word, Dan, cut the gabbers there. That's all I'd have had to hear. Coppers, gabbers, whatever
Then you ain't that fucking sharp if I then change the conversation completely and say, listen, don't worry. If anything happens, I'll drive to you. It's going to be okay. Instantly,
yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? How do I know there's a couple of gabbers standing next to you? What the fuck are you doing coming out of a speeding test just missing your 3 points?
On that level. Instantly.
No. Not
you
on
are
that
slow.
One, not on that one. I mean, seriously. I mean,
the way he answered made it sound like I was lying. He went, okay.
This is a proper Spursy story, isn't it?
It is a proper Benji story, isn't it? I think that's what we're going to have to call it when we have a moment now, isn't it?
It was the worst possible thing that could have happened. The worst possible thing. Luckily,
I think it's called irony, isn't it?
I got away with it. I don't want to tell you guys what I did to get away with it, but it is what it is. Okay, we keep that between us and our lamppost. All right? Yeah, they were really nice. To be fair to them.
What did you do, you dirty boy?
Nothing.
Let's just say the car's a bit. Let's just say the car's a bit messy and the bonnet's got dents in it now.
Let's just say he's got a colourful rainbow flag in his car now.
Fucking need
what do you mean now? It's always been in there. Are you mad?
Ben, you are lucky, mate.
Yeah.
You are fucking lucky.
I want to know. I like dirty stories.
God, Benny, you are such a fucking
hell.
He's one of them sneaky ones, isn't she?
Oh, fucking hell. What is that? 50 Shades of Ellie or saying? Lay off.
Then what happened?
Yeah. I mean, but Ben, man, fix the fuck up. I've sent you over I've sent you over the
Who's eating?
Thing to put it. What's it? The phone holder, so you can put it on.
Somebody's
your window.
munching away in the background. Is that you, Dante? You munching?
So you should have that by tomorrow, and don't get in that situation again, mate. Seriously, how you fucking
What
pulled
can
that
I
off,
say? You're
don't
just
know.
that high up on my list, Dan, that I just didn't even think about it. I prioritised you,
Yeah.
mate, over
50
my
Shades
fucking
of
6
Queen,
points.
Ellie. Don't forget that
Benji,
Queen.
you should have run the sensible one, mate. I
should have,
don't know
mate.
what
I
you
should
was
have.
on about, mate.
You
You
would have
know
been a bit
what I
more
mean?
fucking tuned in. Yeah.
Mate, I was
We
already
both.
half numb listening to you talk, yeah? So how can I be fucking fully on it, mate? But right, on the Spurs point of it again, yeah? Ben, we're up shit street, aren't we?
What?
We need that striker, don't we?
We do. Of course we do. Good Lord. I mean, I'm still not understanding what people are talking about when they say the striker market is, there's not a lot of options out there, because there is. I just don't know what's going on with Spurs right now. Like, I'm in two minds. I'm on the fence with this, because part of me is like you lot. I'm like, fucking hell, it's gone a bit quiet. What's going on? I'm sort of going back into PTSD Tottenham. But then I'm thinking, do you know what? Everything is pointing to the fact that we're going to get something done, because we've got the manager telling us, the club has said, look, we're going to back this manager. All signs point to something's going to happen. But right now, I mean, shit, I don't know. But all I know is, and I know this is just like a half rumor, I would do anything for Osimhen. Oh my goodness. My dream lineup would be, oh my God, Savinho, Osimhen, and Kudus. That for me would be like my ultimate, because you've got, two crazy creative players just feeding a goal machine. It would just, So yeah.
I mean, you want your Savinho as well, didn't you? I mean, you big him up.
We're not going to get him.
Much so, innit?
We're not going to get him.
We're actually going to get him.
No, I'm done. I'm done dreaming. I'm done. I'm fucking sick and tired of it. We've been chasing this guy since 1947. I'm tired of it now. I'm done. Do you know what? It's Leonardo Di Matteo, the second coming, is what this is. And I don't want to be part of that again. I don't want to be part of that again. I'm done. I'm done. He ain't coming.
I can get that. Phil, how we doing? Haven't seen you for a while, mate. Not since we last got pissed up at Stabbers. How you been?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. I don't know what's worse, Ben's story or Scott's opinion on Archie Gray playing up front.
Better option than
Archie for the striker.
It might happen.
They both leave a lot to be desired in life, don't they, Phil?
I nearly fell off my fucking chair, man.
Do you know what I mean?
He's got the barnet for it, hasn't he, old Archie Gray? And he's got a
Archie Gray,
goatee.
2 goals.
He's got a goatee. He's a real man now.
So right, Phil, with everything we've spoke about, I presume you've heard a lot of it or whatever, or some of it. What is your assumption of what the fuck is going on at this club at the moment? We seem to do everything right at the start, and we're just back to Spursy again at this moment in time. It could all change, but at this moment in time, it's going very Spursy again.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuss is all about, to be honest. I'm pretty chilled. I don't know. Everyone's going mental, like Let's just calm down a bit. There's 4 weeks of the window left. I still think there's time to get the forwards in. I think Gakpo and Savinho will sign before the end of the window, probably in the next 2 weeks.
Agree.
And then
Agree.
Yeah, I think we'll get both of them.
Gakpo's coming, I reckon.
I reckon both.
Okay.
Well, if we have to keep Solanke and Richie till January and we don't get that striker, then everyone else is going to have to contribute in midfield. With Gakpo, Savinho, and Kudus, Maddison chipping in. That's what's going to happen. But ideally, we'd want to get a striker in. Ideally, but if we don't have the time to do it in the window, then a Gakpo and a Savinho, I'll be happy with.
Phil, what are we doing here if we've got time in the window? I've got to ask. We've got 4 weeks left. We've just wasted 4 weeks doing fuck all, right? Yeah. And if we've got time, we've just wasted 4 weeks of getting no one in when we're desperate for someone up front.
Yeah, I'll get that. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, do we? With deals and stuff. None of us know that. None of us
That's
do
true.
as fans.
That's true.
We don't.
Yeah,
So, like, you know, we just need to, like, sort of just rein it in a little bit, you know, and just think, you know, they might get something done towards the end of the window or before then. You know, I think Gakpo and Savinho, I think they're going to get over the line, like I said. But, you know, if that striker doesn't come, then I think we can deal with that until January. I really do.
It's
One
looking
direction
pretty
in January.
though. Most big
I'm
big
getting a
players.
massive echo on my end, but I don't know if it's me or...
I can't hear an echo, but I think
No,
it's
I
YouTube
can't.
all this.
A lot of
I
big
can hear a
players.
Dalek.
A lot of
Yeah.
big players that we sign,
That's because
they
Adam's
just come
back
at the
on.
last second anyway.
Yeah, let me just back out, guys, and I'll come back in. All right.
Okay.
Dan, mate, I've got to jump off. I might try and pop back on in a little bit if
All
there's
right, mate.
space. Yeah,
Just
mate.
say, I don't know how long
Cheers
I'll
for
do it
having me
for.
on.
You know me. I just go with
Yeah.
the flow.
See you later,
Anyway,
Big
Dan,
up,
when
everyone.
you're doing it, in case you can't come back on, when you're doing anything again soon?
No, nothing planned yet, mate. It's just when I get the urge, when there's something going on. Yeah, cheers, guys. Big up,
All right,
up
mate.
to you all.
Good to have
Big
you on.
up,
Take care
chat.
of yourself.
Dan.
Cheers.
Speak soon, Dan.
Cheers.
Bye, mate.
So, what I was going to ask Phil, basically, yeah, and obviously ask him when he gets back on here, if he can. Do you think a few of us are just... The way I looked at the start of the season is we might have to just accept some average players that we wouldn't usually want to accept. I mean, and Spurs supporters... The mentality of some leave it a lot to be desired, in my opinion, when you rate up buying Archie Gray over a few of the players that I used to go through mentioning midfield we could have got, and saying that players like Grealish ain't good enough for us. Okay, he got injured last season, but before his injury, I would have quite happily had him on the left-hand side. And we can go through a whole list of players that a lot of Spurs supporters say that are not good enough for the club that has finished 17th 2 seasons on the trot. And I thought we might have to take a step down to work ourselves back up to 12th, up to 10th, to 8th, and from that. And I could have dealt with that. But all of a sudden, we went in there, bang, there you go. There's Tonali, there's Van Hecke, there's Fernandes. All of a sudden, people's expectations go up, don't they? Okay, that's not a 10th. We're now looking at an 8th. Now we want that big striker. Now we want that big one. It's not so much looking at your average player sort of thing now, which would have been justified if we did that, basically. Do you think it got everyone's hopes up too high, too quickly? Whoever.
I think that we got. Yeah, I think you're half right there, because I think that we were so impressed and we were on a roll, weren't we? I mean, you see the two. What do we have? The two Robertson and Senesi come in, which was straight away, wasn't it? That was done and dusted. Van Heck pretty quick after that, and then it's just been a flurry of players, and I think we've just expected it to continue like that, and then I mean, all right, we all want the perfect window, but you can't. You know, Rome weren't built in a day. It's that you're not. I wasn't going to expect the next few days after Tonali was done. I wasn't expecting a striker and 2 wingers within 3 or 4 days. And if anyone was, then they're in dreamland. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just a process, but it's also a big thing. Like when we were talking about Romero, it's about offloading players as well. And we've got to, you know, I think they've tried to balance it where they've obviously a few players have gone out. They've made the decision on Vuskovic and some players like that. Which I don't think I don't think decisions like that were probably that easy, you know. But you know, so I don't know. I think we're all being a little bit impatient, but it's because we know how things can be at Spurs, and because we're so used to, you know.
But that's more the problem, innit? Because we know how things can be at Spurs or are at Spurs.
Well, yeah, but then it's already been proven that we're doing it differently this summer anyway, aren't we? So I mean, already. We've come out the blocks quicker than any other club have. There's not another club in Europe that's come out quicker than we have. So, you know, you can't. I think we can't expect everything to be just done like it's. I think there's more to it than that. You know.
We've been waiting for 2 years for a striker in left wing, at least.
When you say coming that quick out the blocks, right? It's like when I'm going to get rude now. Right, it's like when a man's making love to you, right? Right?
Okay.
You could be quick, but you want some slow stuff as well.
Exactly, darling. You got it.
You got to have tactics, isn't it? If you ain't got tactics, Stamina means fuck all.
Ellie, you
it's
really
like the
still are
song-
gaming your girl. Fucking
It's like
Christ.
it's like the song that what's his name did. Fuck her gently. You know that song?
Yes. Where's that from?
That's fucking what's his name? The bloke who did the rock film.
Tenacious D. Tenacious D.
Tenacious D. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. How the fuck did we get here?
I don't know.
My mind is now gone blank,
minded.
and all I can think about is some dude fucking Ellie. It's like, what's going on here?
No, the question was basically, Ben. Go on, Scott.
I was going to say, the hard part I have when people tell us that we need to be patient is we've been waiting for a striker and left wing for at least 2 years, if not longer. And again, if I thought there was a plan that we had here, I might be more willing to be patient. But we've seen with this window, we saw in January, we've seen for 25 years, if we want to go that far back, that we never, whenever we're told, just wait, we'll get it. It never happens. And Adam, I don't know what you're seeing that says things are changing this year, because I'm seeing the exact same things I've seen year after year. This summer is proving that things aren't changing.
That's just a load of bullshit, mate. I'm sorry. You just talk so much fucking bullshit. It's absolutely it's unbelievable. How are you sitting there saying that it's the same shit? We just smashed our transfer record twice in a week, right?
Exactly.
And also, this is the first. It doesn't matter. We still did it. Right, this is the first window we've had without Daniel Levy, the first summer window, right, and the first window with De Zerbi. So how are you sitting there and saying we've been looking for a striker for 2 years? 2 years ago, we had 4 different managers at that point. We built 4 managers later, and we've now got De Zerbi and no Daniel Levy 2 years ago. So I don't know what you're talking about when you say, "Oh, it's the same." That's just bullshit.
Come on, Danny. It's the same window.
Bullshit.
Buy a few players. Don't address needs.
Absolute bullshit, Scott.
Buy garbage like
and it's factually incorrect as well. Sorry.
Dubravka, garbage
let Scott finish.
We're still buying bad players that don't solve our issues. We're not solving the issues that we have at the club. We haven't changed the football operations at the club. We still have Vinay and Lang, who are terrible as the main football people making decisions at our club. Things aren't changing.
Well, I don't know. I think Lang's doing pretty all right at the moment. And if we have an Osherman or a Kane walk in tomorrow, I mean, I think he's had I'd give him 10 out of 10 for that. Fuck.
If. Not based on what they've actually done. And Lang has done a terrible job.
Even what they've done so far, has been good business. All right, we might have paid a bit. We might have paid a little bit over the odds for a few players, but like we were saying earlier in the conversation, it's we wanted to get the deals done. We wanted to get them over the line so we can just move on to the next fucking situation. And they've gone ... And now they've got to a point, and it's gone quiet for a bit. Everyone's all right. I think everyone's overreacting a bit. There's still 25 days left, man. Still 25 days left. If we have a bomber come out in the next 3 or 4 days, then what do we need? One more big. We want one more big signing, and then we're laughing, aren't we? We're there.
No,
I mean seriously,
minimum.
Who even made that fucking phrase bomber?
Fabrizio Romano, I think. Romano,
probably.
What was he doing? Was he in fucking holiday?
It wasn't. It was Ornstein. Ornstein made it.
I don't know whoever it was.
It was Ornstein. It was Ornstein because Romano had "Here We Go" and Ornstein had obviously countered it. Now everyone says bomber.
Exactly. I mean, it makes you feel like, where the fuck did that come from? Was he out in fucking Iran or Iraq when he got the idea of it? Fuck knows, man. But I honestly don't know. It's just a strange one, if you ask me. You know, I mean, fuck knows what was going through his mind or where
he was at Dietrich's house.
Yeah, could well be. You never know in this day and age, mate. I mean, with who we've bought, I don't think we've got nothing to complain about. That is why I'm saying, for me, the window ain't a failure. Because we have improved that first... Someone's got a bad echo on. Give me a second.
Is it me?
Is that better? Yeah, I think that's you, Dave, with the echo on it, mate. Yep. Yeah, I think it is you who's got the echo. Come off and jump back on. So I don't think the window's as much of a disaster or whatever, like we said at the start, basically, because we have improved that squad significantly, that first 11. I don't think it's just a touch that we've improved it. I think Fernandez, Tonali, Van Hecke, Senesi, I think that's a massive improvement to that first 11.
100%, man. 100%. It's the whole. It's the center of the midfield. It's not just bringing one player that's challenging for a spot. It's two players that are walking into the team. You know what I mean? They're walking in.
Just like when we signed Kudos and we signed Simmons was a massive upgrade, and we added Polina was a massive upgrade, and when we signed Madison and Vicario and Van de Ven that summer was a massive upgrade. We've done this before.
You can't blame. You can't. Yeah, but Scott, you can't. You can't blame. You can't blame injuries on the ownership of the club. You can't do that.
Who blamed injuries?
No, I'm just saying that you said, "Oh, we brought these players in," but Kudos he was absent most of last year, injured. So and then
no, I'm
so
saying
Madison
in the past
and all the
we
other
bought
players.
good players. So buying Tonali, in the past we bought good players. In the past, this isn't something new.
But we have gone up a level on the players that we've bought.
I don't think we've done this before, Scott. And just quickly,
Scott, that's ridiculous.
A quick rewind. The fact that no one's bought Paulinho is fucking criminal, by the way.
That's madness. Yeah, I agree.
We've moved on from that, man. We've moved on from that.
No, I know, but still, for me,
no, not in terms of the conversation about it. I mean, in terms of Paulinho as a player, I think like we're trying to evolve a little bit more in that midfield. Do you know what I mean? A bit of rubber. I'll get what you're saying with Paulinho. He does a job, and he may, help us in the squad at some point in the season. But I just think we've moved on from that.
But you're not going to get a return on what you're going to pay for him anyway, are you? So I think they've also looked at that as well. Where with Fernandez and Tonali, at least if Madrid come knocking in 2-3 years' time, you're going to get a return on it.
Oh, gotcha. But look, to push back on what Scott said, I kind of disagree with you, mate, because I think, like Danny said a minute ago, we've elevated. I think you can say now, with your chest, that Tottenham now have arguably one of the best double pivots in the league, without doubt. I don't
possibility.
You give me that. What do you mean possibility?
If they link together, I'm agreeing with you. If they link together and it works, you'd say that's a top. You'd say that's a top 6 midfield, wouldn't you?
All day long. I'll tell you something else as well.
If you're saying individually, but as a double pivot, whether they've played together before, we haven't seen that yet. But individually as players, you can say that.
Yeah, you could argue that they're both very similar, which may or may not cause a problem. We don't know. But I'll say this much for the two players that we've got. Now, me and Dan are huge fans of Tonali. We've always followed him. I mean, as soon as somebody gets touted as the next Pirlo, you're going to take note, right? But I'm just going to throw this out there. I think Fernandez has an even higher ceiling than Tonali. That's how much I personally rate Fernandez. I think that guy is going to be absolutely unbelievable. And for me, if Savinho doesn't turn up this season, which I highly doubt he will, I feel like Fernandez is quickly going to become everyone's favourite player at Spurs. Everyone at Spurs, and I've read this 100 times now, everyone at Spurs is raving about Fernandez, raving about the guy. But look, going back to the whole situation, what's going on, right? Spurs have done nothing wrong because realistically, the way we've played it, you would say in any sort of system, any sort of order, we've gone about it the right way. We've gone defence, midfield. Now we are waiting for the attack. Now, because we all have PTSD, which we do have, I don't think any of you are going to sit there and tell me that Spurs fans don't have PTSD when it comes to fucking transfer windows, right? Because we all know when it goes quiet, it's not a good sign.
I don't anymore.
Okay, fair enough. And you know what? Hold on. He's got good reason to say that because of the way ENIC have acted so far this season.
No, it's just also my perception on things has changed a while ago. It's just how I look at just life in general differently.
I've just wiped the slate clean, to be honest with you. Since De Zerbi's come in, I just think we need to just draw the line. I know. In the past year, go on, Danny. Sorry.
No. Sorry, you were talking, Phil. Go on, mate.
No, I was just saying, basically, obviously the last 25 years, we haven't had the trophies, whatever, yeah. But I can't keep going on about it every single season. We need this, we need that. Do you know what I mean? We have no say on it. It's the club that have to do it. I'm just, They'll do it this season. At the end of the day, they have to do it this season. We finished 17th twice in a row, right? So we have to do it, and they've made big movements in signing Tonali and Fernandez. Which in the past would we have signed them players?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Before this season, would we?
No.
I don't think so. I'd had my doubts.
Yes.
So we've made movements, and I'd go as far as to say we go on about forwards. Yes, we need forwards. But I'd go as far as to say that the midfield was as important
as
the forwards at the time, because we couldn't control the game. Our midfielders couldn't control the game. So now we've got someone in there that's just as important in my eyes.
Phil, do you know the biggest thing though? Right, Spurs have always spent money, right? There's no two ways about it. We always have. If you go look at top spenders, Spurs are right up there. But the one thing that's changed for me, which I personally, just don't, my own opinion, we've finally changed our wage structure. Tonali's on 275 grand, and if rumours are true, Van der Ven is going to be on even more than he is. So the very fact that we've changed our wage structure for me is huge, because now at this point,
do it.
Guys,
have no choice.
Absolutely,
yeah, but guys, you're missing the point, right? You're missing the point. It's all very well bigging up the club about doing this and doing that, getting in Tonali, getting in Fernandez, but without somebody to put the ball in the back of the net, it's all a waste of money, because you need somebody to put the ball in the back of the net. Tonali's not a scorer. Fernandez is not a scorer. Kudus is not a scorer. Xavi's not a scorer so far. Right, all right, he's injured, but he's still not a massive scorer. We've got no one of the ilk of Sonny or Kane that can put the ball in the back of the net.
But
and
that's
you
never
need
going
that.
to happen, Ellie.
You
never
need
gonna
it.
Happen. I know,
Right.
but you're not going to get a Kane and a Son. You're not going to get a Kane and a Son.
No,
ever,
but
ever
what
again,
I'm saying, you need goals. I just cited them because they were elite.
Fair enough.
They're elite strikers who put the ball in the back of the net, right? But there are other strikers who can get you 20 goals. If you get two strikers who get you 20 goals, like Adrian always harps on, you need 88 goals minimum to win the league. We're nowhere near that.
But we ain't
Even
winning
with
no
the
league.
additions that we've made, we're not going to score enough goals.
Who scores
we need
88
to fix,
goals, Ellie?
Who
scores 88 goals?
You have to score at least 88. It's a proven fact.
No, I know that, but I'm saying who does
goals to
score
win a
88
league.
goals?
Minimum.
And we ain't winning no fucking league. Who
No,
does
but
score
I'm
88
saying
goals?
we've got to work towards it. So we've got to get that top of the pitch sorted, and we've got 4 weeks to sort it, right? And I'm not saying the club aren't trying, because they probably are, right? Because they realise that Solanke and Richarlison are not going to do the business up top, right? Because we've seen 4 years of Richarlison, and we've seen 2 years of Solanke, and they haven't hit the ground running, have they? Either of them. They can score goals, but not of the ilk that gets you up there challenging. Yeah. So we need two strikers, right, who can put the ball in the back of the net. Minimum 15 each, maximum 20 to 25 goals each, right? And then you're cooking. Without that, all this Tonali business, all this Fernandez business, Van Hecke, whatever, it's not going to count for nothing.
But do you not think the players we've signed are infinitely going to improve players in front and behind?
Of course they're going to improve us, but if you don't put the bloody ball in the back of the net, what's all this fancy play going to do?
Ellie, isn't De Zerbi going to be a big factor in that as well? The way we're going to play and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's not going to magic Tonali 20 goals, is he?
No, I'm not.
He's not going to magic 20 goals out of Fernandez.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there'll be an improvement in the football. There'll be an improvement in the creativity. You know, in terms of the midfield, more chances created. But obviously, you know, they have to put the ball in the back of the net. Do you know what I mean? But you know, there's still 4 weeks left of the window.
Xavi was creating for them, and they wasted so many of the chances. They did. We saw it all with our own eyes. They were wasteful. Like Richarlison, he scored 12, 13 goals, whatever, and Solanke scored 8 in his second season. That's not enough. if we want to compete, I want to compete at the top. I want us to compete now. I don't want to be waiting. I'm 63 years old. I'm going to be 64 years old in
Never.
November. I don't want to be waiting another
You are
26
You
not
don't look it,
years.
Ellie.
66 years
Don't
old.
If
look
I
it, man.
live that
Don't give me
long.
that. You are not 66 years old. Don't give me that bullshit.
Well, not quite 66. You've made me 2 more years older, you sod. No, but what I'm saying, we need goal scorers. Osherman would be a fantastic signing. Ferran Torres would be a fantastic sign. Getting Gakpo or Savinho is going to help because they both can create goals. We've seen it from Savinho where he's created 11 goals, 11 assists. So the boy's got it in him, right? So I'm just worried because I know if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, however good you are defensively, and let's face it, we're not as good as Arsenal defensively, even with our new additions, right? And that they've got players who can score from all angles. Arsenal, we want to be competitive. I don't want to have another season where we thought, oh, we should
Other
have did
players,
this and should have done that.
other players have got to contribute in the goals and assists, though, haven't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
but
every, like
who? There's
all
only
around,
Maddison
That's
who
not
can
the
how
pull
team.
out of the
successful teams
rest.
are built.
It's
Yeah,
just Maddison
Can
who
I
can
ask
score
one
goals and
question? And it's
assists.
not going to go down well. I want to ask one question. This is really not going to go down well. Are we being a bunch of ungrateful children?
Not at all.
No, because
I'm
me,
only asking.
I've got standards, right? I'm from an era where we had standards, right? And my dad taught me from a very young age that we were the best because we were the best, right?
He
In the
lied.
60s, even in the 60s, we should have won more, right? But we were the best. We've done the double, right? No other team had done it for 64 years. That's how hard it was to win the double. And you're not talking about carpets that they play on today. You're talking about mud pitches, right? With heavy leather footballs. And we were the cream of the crop. And we were revered all around the world for our push and run side in the 1950s. So we set the standards. And like Maz says, we've dropped our standards so drastically that we've become the laughing stock. Yeah, the most underachieving massive club that we are, right? We're so underachieving, like you say, Dan. We are. We're
I
like
don't
the
think we've dropped
England
our
of
standards in this
the
transfer window
Premiership.
at all.
No, I think we upped our
No,
standards in this
yeah.
window so far.
And
That's what I'm
also,
saying. And then
Robertson,
if you get
Davies,
We've upped
Gakpo,
our
if you get
Rashford.
standards,
Gakpo
but
and
we haven't
Savinho
upped
in
our
as well,
standards everywhere, have we?
if we
we
get Savinho and
haven't finished the
Gakpo,
window.
is everyone happy with that or not?
If
Yeah,
Well,
I'd
if
definitely
they
be happy with
Yeah.
What do you
that.
mean
they
happy?
won't
Yeah, the
get you
first
enough
big
goals, you
transfer
need a
season, yeah.
striker to bang it in.
Yeah, but
Because
can you?
Gakpo's not a
Yeah,
top
okay, Ellie.
scorer.
My only pushback on this is, given the current market state, right, and we all know it's shockingly bad. Players like the players that are going for money at the moment is ridiculous. Look at Cody, not Gakpo, what's his name, Barcola, being quoted 170 fucking millions. It's madness.
Yeah,
So
madness.
I hear what you're saying, but if you think if you put context to it and think about the state of the transfer market, can we do it all in this window? Can we?
If we
Is
get
that a big in
Osherman,
excess
I'll
of
be so
400 million?
pleased. Honestly, Benji, if we get Osherman, I'll be jumping up and down all round my living room
Ellie,
celebrating because
he's
I
the
know
one
he can
player.
get you 25 goals
He's
minimum.
he's definitely the one player I'd get before Savinho and Gakpo, 100%.
Yes,
Get him in
just get him in,
straight
man.
away, and then just worry about Savinho and Gakpo towards the end.
You
I'll
saw
just
him
get up.
against us when he played for Galatasaray. He was on fire, and he's been on fire ever since. Like he's performing every single season. So the only other player who would top it would be Kane. Harry Kane, getting Harry Kane back. Now that would be a super pomba, wouldn't it?
I mean, there are talks of people. Apparently he could be available for 70 million. Just going to throw that out there.
Or Osherman.
No, Harry Kane.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he's
Harry
got
Kane.
Let's not even go there.
Spurs have got an
Flipping hell.
86 million release thing, but that's only if he wants to talk to us. He might just say, "No, I'm all right where I am."
I agree, and I also think we got to get over Harry Kane. It's done. It's dusted. It's over. It's finished. Get on with it. He ain't coming back anytime soon.
He'll probably come back when he's 37.
Well, that's not going to be much fucking use to us, is
He'll
it?
still be
To be
better than
honest,
everybody else.
I'd rather Osman, to be honest with you, right now.
Osherman,
Can
yeah.
I
I
just
think
comment
he's
on
30,
what
isn't he,
Ellie was talking
Osherman?
about? Is that all
No,
right?
Osman's
No, he's
27.
Is he
27, 28.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
27.
that's even better. I thought he was
No, but
30 years
I'm
old.
sorry. Osman can't lace Harry Kane's boots. I'm sorry. Not a chance.
Hi, Lubo.
I don't think many players
doing,
can
guys?
lace
Well, no.
his
You are,
boots.
mate.
Big
Yeah.
up, Ian.
I think the other
How you
thing
doing?
Well,
you've got to think about, Ellie, is when you're saying about Tottenham and back in the '60s, we could say that about so many clubs. I mean, look at how Liverpool dropped off for years, and they were the biggest team around in the '80s. Ipswich at the end of the '80s. Do you know what I mean? Or the beginning of the
yeah,
'80s,
but I
whenever it
don't
was.
care about those
No,
teams. I
no, I
care
know
about
that, but
our club.
what I'm saying is like, you know, sometimes I know it's frustrating, and I get that. But the other thing you've got to think is the work that Tottenham have done off the pitch. We are now in a position that not many other clubs. Look at the Italian league. Look how they're dropping off. Look, I mean, the teams, they're all bloody. They've got their skin. You know, like there's not many teams in world football right now that are sitting how Tottenham are right now. There is literally a couple of clubs that are actually sitting there that are in a position that we are in. Do you know what I
And
mean?
that is very true.
You mean financially?
Yeah,
Yeah,
financially.
On the
yeah. Of
business
And I
course,
know.
side.
our financial house has always been, pucker. It has,
Well,
right?
It
not when
hasn't
we were at
always.
White Hart Lane.
Because
No,
remember,
No, it
we've got
wasn't.
businessmen running
no, it
our
wasn't.
club.
Not when we were at White
So
Hart Lane. No way. No way it was.
No, at White Hart Lane, we was in trouble when it come to money.
yeah,
But
Yeah,
that's
again,
exactly.
ages
There was
ago,
the
though. I'm talking about
yeah,
now, right? And in
okay,
the
now.
last 10, 15 years, it's been ace because Enoch are an investment company. They know how to do business and they know how to get their house in order. Fair dues, but I worry what's on the pitch. Yeah, I know football's a business, like you say, Dan. But what we want to see is a successful Tottenham Hotspur. We all do. Nobody in this group here wants us to finish third, fourth, fifth, or sixth,
But
or
the thing,
second.
I know what you're saying, but I know we rode our luck a bit when we went. What was it, 2.5 transfer window or 2.5 years without signing a player? I think the only person we bought was Mora, wasn't it, in one
Yeah, that
window?
was
But
under
you've got to think
Poch.
that's it's a billion pound that it costs. That's £1,000 million, £1,000 million. Like, and don't forget we weren't even like we went from a stadium where we were, what was it, 36,000, 38,000 or
Something
whatever it
like
was.
that, 38, I
You
think it
know,
36.
was.
and you look now at what I mean, if you actually delve in it for a second of the money that club's generating now, it is
Yeah,
absolutely
but what I'm
ridiculous.
saying, it doesn't count for nothing if we're not winning anything.
No, but
Because
but the thing is, it's only just started. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we're still. We've only just got over that hangover of building the stadium. So I mean, like, you can't
Isn't it 10 years?
expect miracles
yeah, like
in a
Arsenal,
second.
Arsenal
But
did it the right way. We're doing it. We're doing it like
No,
steadily,
Ellie, no,
steadily.
no, no. Arsenal did it the way that fucked them over for 20 years because they couldn't they didn't have a pot to piss in and
yeah,
couldn't
he had
afford
to
the
make money
stadium
each
and
window,
had to
Wenger,
sell
didn't
their
he?
players.
Yeah, but what
We
I'm
done it the
saying, I'm
right
not
way,
saying
Ellie,
about the
because we
initial
don't even
period.
pay for the stadium, basically. The
Yeah,
stadium
but what?
actually pays for itself.
Yeah,
Of course,
exactly.
but they took their time to get there, right? And they were
Not by
competing for the
choice.
last
It,
5
it, it was the
seasons.
single greatest thing Daniel Levy ever did. The timing of that stadium being built was perfectico.
Apart from COVID,
Unreal.
of course.
No, COVID actually
Well,
held us back 2
COVID
years.
was the reason why it was
Yeah.
so good. The
No,
oh my
I
god,
think
the
you're right,
interest
mate. I
rates
think
were
you're
like
actually bang on the money. I think you're bang on the money. I think the
What I meant
timing
about
was.
Arsenal, though, is that because the last 5 years, we've seen them steadily get there, right? They've been second, yeah? And everybody's taking the pee out of them, including me,
I think
bottling it.
everyone knew they was going to do it sooner or later.
Yeah, we knew, right? And this season they're going to go even stronger, aren't they? Because they've just signed Bruno Guimaraes, who's a fabulous footballer. I wish we'd got him as well with Tonali. That would have been the ultimate dream. But like, I'll come back to what I was saying. Yes, you're right that other clubs have had their niche periods as well. I agree with that. But I'm talking about Spurs. We were the best, right? And we want to be the best again. And to be the best, you've got to think of the way of the best. Yeah, you've got to be elite. right, and
Yeah,
think
but
you're
we are.
linked.
That's what we're doing.
But we're not
When?
because we haven't. We
said this, mate.
we finished 17th for the last 2 seasons, so we're not elite in that respect. And we haven't fixed our forward line, and there's only 4 weeks to go to fix it. And the
But
league
then that's a
club would have it
combination
done and
of
dusted way
that's a
before now.
combination of Daniel
Dan, can I
Levy
come
leaving
in?
the club. That's a
I was
combination
about
of
to
us
bring you in,
losing
Lubo.
Son and Kane. That's a
Let him finish
combination
his
of the
bit.
new stadium.
Come
There's
on,
so
Lubo.
many things.
Let's have it. Have
Right,
it.
go on,
Many
Ian. Go for
excuses.
gold. Good to see you, mate.
Endless
Go on, let Ian
excuses.
have his go.
Oh, sorry.
Evening.
Hello,
Right,
hello,
let me.
Lubo. Sorry.
Hi guys. Before I come to
Fuck, he's got nothing to
Ellie,
say.
Scott's gone because he knows I was coming for him.
No,
Scott,
he's still
right?
there.
Good evening.
No, I'm just checking
Right.
messages. Sorry, on my
Right,
phone.
let
but
me
go
start.
ahead.
Right, Scott, let me start with what you said because I've been listening to the show for the last half an hour.
Archie Gray up front, was it?
No, forget Archie Gray. Forget Archie Gray. Let me ask you a question, Scott. From the team that finished at the end of last season to the team we've got that you would expect to be starting this season, do you think there's been an improvement?
Yeah.
You do. So
Yeah.
they've improved the team. Would you agree that they've broken their transfer record twice?
Yeah.
Would you agree that they're now paying much higher wages than they have been for 25 years?
I would have to look into it. It sounds like there's some. I don't know how much these wages compare relative to what Kane was making in the past, but it's possible.
Okay.
I'm not
right,
saying no.
Kane,
I'm just saying I
250 and Niners
Okay.
on 275.
I'm not saying
Okay.
no, Ian. I'm just saying I don't pay attention
Sure.
to what we had in the past.
Right. So basically, you would think that we have improved since we came off the pitch against Everton in May, and the team that's going to start at
I've said
Brentford
that all.
is an improvement. So it has.
I praised Tonali
Right.
signings. I praised the Fernandes signings. I praised Van Dijk signing.
We've now got Rafi Mawson doing transfer negotiations rather than having a chairman who pissed off everybody he dealt with, because every negotiation with him was a war. So that's been an improvement. We've now got Lange is now no longer in charge of overseas recruitments. We've got Chris Ramsey. We've now got back at the club, and he's now overseeing it. So
he's our DOF.
Sorry.
Chris Ramsey's the DOF, not Lang.
No. Chris Ramsey is. What they've done, they've sort of split it out a bit. Whereas you had Lange, who was involved in negotiating and making decisions with Vinay, now you've got De Zerbi making player decisions. And what he's got Chris McKenzie and Lange putting together data analysis and videos, which is Lange's strength. And the three of them are sitting down and going through all the information put to De Zerbi, and he's looking at all the players. And then he's saying, right, he picks. You're shaking your head. I'm telling you what's going on.
I'm shaking my head because this is not sounding like a good.
Well,
setup.
let Lubo finish his points across.
Right.
I didn't say it. Lubo said it.
So rather than Lange, who replaced Højbjerg, Lo Celso, Skip, and Ndombele with 4 kids, we've now got somebody who is organised, who knows what he's doing, who knows a player, right? And that's going to help us from the next transfer window, because he's coming. Unfortunately, he only came in 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that's not enough time to get players organised, to sort out a global scouting network that he's going to do. So we're going to be much better placed. At the moment, this year, this summer, it's pretty much all been proven, hasn't it? Because
yes.
De Zerbi wants to hit the ground running. He wants players who know the Premier League. So there have been improvements right the way through. Are ENIC 2 the answer? Who knows? All I will say, I'm not ENIC in at the moment, but what I'm saying is that these kids that have come in to run the club instead of their father and Levy are doing it for me as a Spurs fan that wants top players in, that wants players coming in on good money, right? They are doing up to now a much better job than what their father and Levy did for 25 years. So that's where I stand.
In terms of that.
Yeah, I don't see that. And when you said like that structure you said, it doesn't give me any confidence.
Well, why? Why doesn't it give you any confidence? De Zerbi's
Because
delighted.
I want people that are competent and have a track record of doing a good job at the club making those decisions.
Well, do you not want somebody who's competent, whether it's been at our club or another club? We're happy if we buy another player who's good that comes to our club. Why can't we be happy if we bring in a head of scouting that from another club that's been good there that comes in? This guy's Chris Ramsey's first class with a first class network. He knows what he's doing. It was a shame he left the club years ago. Unfortunately, we had good people and we seem to lose all of them. Chris
Ramsey has a track record at other clubs of built as a DOF running the football operations.
Listen, he's not running the football operation. Chris Ramsey's doing overseas recruitment, which is what we need. That's what we need.
So then who's running the football operation?
Who's running the football operation? Who's making the decisions on players? De Zerbi.
Okay, that's concerning. Which other club that's successful has the manager doing that role that doesn't have a proper DOF with
Alex
the manager
Ferguson.
working with them?
Yeah,
Ferguson
did
for that for years though.
Ferguson is in the
You've got to
90s.
hold him out of it. That's not. It's 2026 now. It rarely
Yeah,
happens. But
it's
a lot of things Spurs supporters have actually wanted for quite a long time for the manager to actually have a say in the players that he gets, and now all of a sudden he's getting it. Mind you, it was rumor about that Ange was the one who said he says yes or no at the end. We all heard that before as well, didn't we? So I think De Zerbi does have more of a say in it because otherwise he wouldn't have signed the contract. They had to proper get on their hands and knees and suck hard to get him in there and give him everything he wanted, basically.
But you know, Dan, since Paul Mitchell left in 2016, what's apart from bringing in Wanyama for the following season, recruitment's been awful. We've had, we've had what was his name?
We've spent money, but we've spent it on shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had Hitchens, we've had Paritici, we've had Lang, and where's it's got us, Scott? It's taken us from in 9 years. It took us from second in the league when we left the lane to 17th 2 years running. So I think this whole thing about this, it's a myth. This director of football thing. What you've got to do, firstly, for me, the club are running behind. There's no culture. There's no 100% definitive style of play, like an Ajax have, like Bayern Munich have, where they bring in previous stars who understand football. That's what we should be doing. Once that's in place, the macro will be in place. Now they've started with Chris Ramsey and Rafi Mawson, so they've started doing that. They've started bringing in good people. De Zerbi's a tip-top manager. We saw what he did with a team that was on its knees after that Forest defeat when he came in. Yep. And he turned it round and he saved us. From being 2 points down, we finished 2 points clear in 7 games. And West Ham were having... Go on.
Just quickly, right, just for educational purposes, what exactly does a director of football do?
Well, director of football is in charge of everything in football, including the academy. Mm-hmm. So he works with the recruitment team. More often than not, he's part of that recruitment team for the first team. And he also works closely with the academy directors and makes sure that everything's on course.
Is he somewhat like a liaison, basically?
No, he
kind of sets the whole
when it comes to transfers.
Listen, the way it's working is the Lewises have given Vinay X amount of money. Vinay works with Rafi Mawson when it comes to, and De Zerbi when it comes to negotiating on players. And that's how it's working at the moment.
It's all got to be aligned, doesn't it? It's all
got to be aligned. So having answered what Scott said, let me come on to what Ellie said about standards.
But let me ask you one question quickly then, Hugo, if you're moving on. So you're saying like Berta at Arsenal, he's a myth. Tixty Birkenstein at City, a myth. Michael Edwards, myth. Monchi at Villa, myth. Like, these are all important people at the clubs that are the most successful in the Premier League.
That's right. No, they are. But listen, you asked me about what's happening at Tottenham. I don't know what's happening at other clubs. If they are running the show at other clubs, then that's up to the other club.
What I've said all summer, Lubo, is I want to see something like that at our club. That will give me confidence that it's happening.
Yeah, you get more stability.
Seems like it isn't happened yet.
Sure. at the moment, the guy from Stuttgart, was it, turned us down. So he's gone.
Dortmund won it.
So for me, there's no director of football at the moment in place, like we should have. Lang has basically, I think, been sidelined. He's not running it like he was with Paritici, whatever that meant. So
They didn't
Spurs
even
have got
get
to
on, did they?
No, they didn't. Spurs have got to get a director of football in place. But at the moment, the most important thing was to stop the first team hemorrhaging and dropping, because, you know, I was listening to Glenn Hoddle on Talk Sports this morning, and he was saying, you know, you can't get much lower. You start dropping further than 17th, you're in the Championship. So the most important.
No lower.
That's right. The most important thing this summer was to make sure that the first team got strengthened. Now, we've done it in two areas. And sort of coming on to what you were saying, Ellie, I think it's very much a question. All of us want new strikers. None of us think Richie and Solanke are the answer, and none of us think Richie and Solanke are going to take us up to sort of top three and then winning the Premier League. If we win the Premier League, I mean, we haven't won the Premier League for 65 years. So we talk about when we talk about standards, Ellie, you've got to remember that through the last century, we were, to all intents and purposes, apart from that golden period at the beginning of the 60s, we were a cup team.
That's all we ever have been. You just took the words out of my mouth. That's all.
We won the league in 51 and 61. And aside from that, between 61 and 99, I think we won 13 trophies. I think there was one league. I think there were 3 European trophies, something like 4 or 5 FA Cups, and 3 League Cups.
Either way, it's been a cup team, isn't it? And
we are a cup team.
Business structure size. Because if we're going to be real on the football side, we're a tier 2 team. We're there with Aston Villa, Everton, Newcastle, and even they fucking laugh at us when it comes to actually winning the big stuff. When it comes to winning leagues, even Everton look down on us, Villa look down on us, Newcastle. We've won the league the same amount of times as Derby fucking County, and we are a 2-tier football club as such. But when you bring the business side into it, it's just the way I look at it. You look at the business side. We should be up there with Bayern Munich. We should be up there with Real Madrid. We should be up there with Chelsea, with Arsenal. We should be up there with all of them. But we never have been. We've never been that big as a football club as such. We might be big on the revenue. We might be big on the fan base. We might be big on a few other things. But when it's come to winning things, significant things, we've never been big. And when I mean significant things, I mean things like Champions Cup, Champions League, Premier Leagues, leagues. Not just FA Cups. And FA Cups was a massive thing. FA Cups now are just Mickey Mouse, same as the bloody League Cup, sadly. But back then, they were massive. UEFA Cup was massive back then. Now, the only reason anyone give a fuck that we even won the Europa Cup is, one, it was that little dinky trophy, but it got us in Champions League. More people were bothered about that. And that's the only reason people even bother with the Europa Cup, because it gets you in the Champions League, doesn't it?
Dan, I think it was important to get the monkey off your back, because it's been 17 years without a trophy.
I can agree with that. I can
yeah. Do you know what? Can I have a comeback on the standards bit, right? Because yes, we were a cup team. Yes, I agree with that. But when we were doing the double, that team were fantastic. The 1950s team that won the league were fantastic, right? And throughout the 60s, we should have won more. I think we finished third in 1962, and then we kept on competing. So we were always relevant, right? And what I meant by standards is that we've dropped our standards drastically. Even with winning cups, guys, we've dropped our standards. 2 in 26 years. That's terrible. You don't even Leicester City have won that. You know, it's just terrible.
But Ellie, you were talking about getting strikers in for this season. What do you expect from this year? We finished 17th twice.
Right.
We strengthened the defence and the midfield. Realistically, listen, dream-wise, we all want Spurs to go from 17th to first, which I think Leicester City did in 2016. But that's not going to happen.
Man U did, didn't it?
That's not going to happen.
No,
It's not going to
because
happen. Realistically,
they're more established teams that have got their squads.
no. But seriously, what do you expect, Ellie, from Spurs
I,
this season?
I, I want
Realistically,
I want us to finish as high as possible, but I can't put a marker on it because I don't know what we're going to do in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, but what are you
when the
expecting at the moment?
At the moment, with the team that we've currently got, I would I would expect to finish at least between 6th and 8th minimum. With
You
the
think
team
so?
that currently is 6th or 8th. If we get those 2 strikers and a winger, I would be going for top 4 and higher because we've got the midfield sorted. The defence is not too shabby, right? And it would have been nice if we got a goalkeeper as well and more established goalie, but we didn't. We're trusting a goalkeeper that's only had 7 games. Yes, he performed well in those 7 games, but I don't think we should pin our hopes on that. I think 6th and 8th, my expectations with the current team, and 4th or higher if we get a striker. But it's going to be very tough because we're at the early stages of building now. So next season we want to see an improvement, and the next season we should be right up there. After that, in the next
Ellie,
3 seasons we should be winning the league. That's what I want.
Well, listen, it took Arteta 6 seasons to win the league.
Took Arsenal 5 years, didn't it?
Well, he came in 2020. He had 12 transfer windows. But for me, do you not think with so many new players, it's going to take time for this team to gel? Well,
yeah, of course.
So the team that go in against Brentford, you can't automatically say, if you talk about names, then great, terrific. Tonali, Fernandes, really good players. Senesi, Van Heck, terrific players. They're all tip-top players. But a team's got to have time to get to know each other and to gel. And the World Cup hasn't helped because you've had players coming back at different times, starting training at different times, rather than everybody starting on July the 4th, which would have been the perfect thing. But the World Cup's wrecked that. You've got certain players who are injured that haven't even, basically hardly trained, like Maddison. Kudus, I think, was back in training. Kulu's just started training there, but they're some way off. It's going to take time to gel. The first few games, you look at them and you think to yourself, Brentford, Newcastle, Forest, Everton, Villa, you think, okay, on paper, with the players on paper, you think we should get a really good start. But this is a brand new team in effect. So, Peter, I think fans have got to be patient. Yeah. And I think there's an entitlement. I just want to finish. I think I want top strikers in my club. When I go back through the years, I go back and I'll just go right the way back. Greaves, Gilzine, Chivers, Peters, Archibald, Crooks, Clive Allen, Klinsmann, Sheringham, Anderson, Ferdinand,
Defoe.
Iverson, Defoe, Berbatov, Keane,
Pavlyuchenko, even.
Yeah, Kane, Son, Lineker. There are so many. There are so many. But where are the strikers that are out there now? Proper strike. You talk about 88 goals. Well, I mean, seriously, how are we going to get 88 goals who are the strikers that are going to come in? The 2 strikers forwards that are going to come in with and go and get 40 goals.
And I was pointing out that's what you need to win a league. That's all.
But we're not going to win the league, are we?
Goals in a season.
But we should be building towards it. That's what I meant, Lubo.
Right,
building towards it.
But Ellie, in 12 months' time,
don't leave ourselves short, because that's what you always complain about.
Sure, it's got to be contributed. It's got to be contributed around the whole team.
That's right.
I know Rome wasn't built in a day, but you have you have to slowly build, right? And then when you're like Arsenal did, right? They got in their players, they shifted out all the deadwood that they didn't want, that Arteta didn't like, and we're showing signs of that, right? But we also got to get an established striker. Osherman would be a fantastic fit. He would. So I want our club to go and get him, right? Because he's the only one I can think of that's been regularly scoring, right? And you've got Lautaro Martinez. He regularly scores, doesn't he?
But he's not going to leave
he's-
Inter Milan, is he?
For
No,
Not
he's
in a
not.
million
But
years.
I'm just pointing out that he is a goal scorer. But
No, sure. But
yeah, and there's so
Ellie,
many,
realistically,
there's not that many. I know. That's what I'm saying. If
leaders.
if Osherman's the only one really who can get you 25, 30 goals, go and get him because we need
Right.
it.
Go on, Ben.
Lubo,
You
can I
wanted to
just
say
say
something,
quickly?
mate. Go on.
No, it's sort of caveating what Lubo said. So I've been trying to bring down expectation on Spurs this season, and I wanted to see if you agree with this. What I've been saying is simply this: going into this season, we are going to be a team, a squad of good players, not a team, and that's something that concerns me this season because, like you said, it's not going to hit the ground running. Let's be honest, and we've seen that historically with Chelsea. We've seen that historically with Liverpool last season. When you make wholesale changes like we have, you're not going to be a team straight away. So, would you agree with that?
Well,
What I would say,
100%.
is that De Zerbi is a very good manager,
Yeah.
and he can do a little bit of bullshit as well to hype up the players and get them on side, right? And I've seen
Like
where
say
he's been at
Solanke's
other
quality.
clubs. Yeah, but I've seen at other clubs how much the players love him. And what I saw at against Chelsea in that first half, even though it wasn't our first team, right, I saw really good signs of De Zerbi ball. Right, I was really impressed with the pressing. I was really impressed the way they moved off the ball. Right, I didn't watch the second half. I only watched the highlights, like I said before. But I was really impressed in the style of play, right? And I know De Zerbi is a very progressive manager, and he's very demanding, and he wants all his players to be super fit. So I've got good hopes under De Zerbi because even though, like you said, Dan, that he hasn't achieved anything yet, I think this is his time to build and build a team in his image, right? And I think he's going to be a Poch Mark II, but he's going to win us things as well. Because the
Definitely.
way Poch had us playing, it was fabulous. Not all
Yeah,
the
but with
time, but
Poch's
most
team,
of
for
the
fuck's
time,
sake,
I loved
it's a
watching that team.
but it's a very different team to what we had here. I mean, Dave, you've sat there and kept quiet for about half hour now. I forgot you was even here. What is your see on everything they're saying? What is your view on this?
I'm trying to come up with plenty of different scenarios, possibilities, what ifs, and stuff like that. I've been scouring everything to try and put some pieces of the puzzle together, and it's very difficult this window because they have thrown us completely off because they broke their transfer record twice. Do you know what I mean? So
basically, with what they've done, they got our hopes up that high all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Not necessarily that. I think they're working on something really big. That's why it's taking so long. That's the only thing I can think of.
That's what I think.
I think something big is going to happen this window, and it is going to potentially unite this toxic fan base.
I mean, why is this? You've said toxic fan base. Why is it toxic?
Because it just has been. Well, you can't blame us.
No, that's not a reason because it has been. Why? I said you have just said this toxic fan base. Tell me why it is a toxic fan base.
Well, it is. You watch people's channels and stuff like that. Like you don't.
Give me details on what are toxic. You have said this toxic fan base. So give me details on what a toxic fan base is, what it does.
It's just the way you like. It's like you can't have a debate, and then you start debating and talking about a play.
Dan, can you mute Adam? It's echoing really badly.
Yeah, I've just noticed that. Adam, man, it's bad.
Yes, is that better?
Yeah. Carry on.
People just like they can't have an open debate about anything. It starts turning. I've watched it on channels. I've watched it on loads of channels. It starts getting nasty. little bit poisonous here and there.
Nothing's got nasty on here tonight. Nothing gets
No,
nasty
I'm
on
not saying
Mark's
no.
one.
I'm not saying this, but other people.
No, I know,
what
but
I mean?
I'm talking in general. Yeah, but you can say that about anybody. I mean, so I'm saying you said toxic fan base. Yeah, you didn't specifically point at anything as such. You just said toxic fan base as a whole. I at least turn around and say the majority of the fan base or whatever else. Yeah, maybe it's just the way you've said it. You didn't mean it like that. But that's when people pick up toxic. If you're going to say toxic, what is actually so toxic about this fan base? The fact that people complain that they want the club to do better, is that really toxic?
No. It's just it's hard to explain. It's just stuff I've seen, like people rowing and debating and stuff like that. And I get emotions are running high. We've been absolutely torrid over the last 2 years. We all want what's best for our club, but I don't know. You get some people agree with a certain point and opinion, but then the other person turns around and flips it. But if that person doesn't agree, if that person don't like what they're saying about, do you know what I mean?
That happens everywhere, though.
Yeah.
If you're going to say toxic fan base, you've got to look on both sides, yeah?
Yeah.
Because for me, there's always 2, 3, maybe even 4 sides to a story. If there's a toxic fan base here, that like toxic negative, then there's fucking definitely a toxic positive one. And me personally, I think the toxic positive side, if you want to call us toxic, has done us more damage than the fucking negative. Because usually with a negative, they want more, they want better, they want this. And yeah, at times maybe press it too much. But then when you're just going to be that toxic positive over it as well and then stick it all under the fucking pillar thinking it's going to go away, that's toxic as well. And if anything, I think that does more damage. Because people being that positive, blindly positive, there's nothing wrong with being a bit positive about something and having a good view to it. But if you're not realistic to it, and so many people were being, I would say, toxic positive under Ange and others, just not looking at the problems. If you don't look at problems and you don't deal with the problems, they don't fuck off. They don't go away.
So, you know what, Dan, can I try and explain what I think Dave's trying to put across? Is that we've all been disappointed.
There'll always be arguments anyway.
No, but Ellie, we've as a fan base, we've not challenged for the top players like we did. Look at even the 90s. That wasn't a great decade. We brought in Sheringham, Ferdinand, Ginola, Klinsmann, and we had Nick Barmby coming through. We had some top players there. We've never really. Bale was bought as an up and coming kid. Kane came through the academy. It wasn't like we didn't go out and buy a Klinsmann type player.
Yeah.
And I think the fans' expectations probably dropped to a new low with the last 2 seasons, particularly last year. And all of a sudden, we've broken the transfer record twice. We're bringing in good players, albeit it doesn't matter. Senesi on a free. I mean, that's fantastic business. That's brilliant. Senesi,
he's a very good player.
That's right. What would he cost with 3 years left on his contract? Yeah. So for me, everybody's got really excited after a really fallow period, and it's gone on for decades. And everyone's really excited, and it's all gone quiet. And I think that's why, instead of actually looking at the transfer window and saying, do you know what? When was the last time we went out and got 6 players who are all decent and very good players before pre-season? I can't remember. It's never happened.
I do get you, Hugo, but I want the whole cake. I don't want 2 slices of it.
But Ellie, it's not going to happen in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, I want the whole cake. Not now, not straight away, but I want us to do the same every single window. So the proof is in the pudding.
Sure.
Ellie,
the expectations needs to drop a little bit.
Every Spurs fan
my expectations are not going to drop.
Ellie, every Spurs fan wants to go from 0 to 100 in an instant, right?
Yeah,
the problem is
thinking about where we were.
I want us to progress, but I want us to get that striker.
But what we are doing now, though, Ellie, what we are doing now is progressing because we've improved the squad.
No spaces, mate.
we've improved the squad
I agree, but we
dramatically,
have to
right?
fill all the areas, because when you look at it, Danny, right, we've always left ourselves short, right, regardless of what type of player we brought in, right, we've always left areas of the pitch where we're short, and it's not on.
I don't
It's not
think
on.
we're
We've
going to
got
be
to
left
fill
short though,
all
Ellie.
areas.
I don't think we're going to be left
I
short.
don't think we will either.
I hope not. And if we don't leave ourselves short, if we do leave ourselves short, sorry, this
Leave our shorts off,
window.
Ellie.
No, sorry, I'm so tired. I haven't slept. Right, right. So
Do
if
you
we
ever?
don't leave ourselves, if we do leave ourselves shorts this one, then January I would expect them to go strong again, and then there's summer go strong again, and
Do you know what the problem is, Ellie?
We've never done that.
Do you know what the problem is? The problem is that because we haven't signed anyone for a month, right? People getting the Spurs PTSD, right? So they're
I'm one of them.
yeah.
100%.
There's a lot
man.
there's a lot of people getting it, right? And the problem is people just they don't want to look at all the variables that goes on in a transfer, right? I used to be someone as well who used to be like, let's just get the fucking player in. But when you look at how the market is today, right, and how little there are of real proven quality, especially for the Premier League anyway, right? It is it's not easy to get these deals done, right? Like they can take weeks and weeks, right?
Yeah,
So
of
none of us
course.
know, like the Savinho one, right? As far as I'm aware, everything was done, and recently Man City wanted to get more money than what they'd already agreed on with Spurs, right? So when you're a buying club and you've already agreed in principle a deal, right, and then they change the terms, right, it's not easy to try and renegotiate. And but again, it also depends on whether or not the buying club will sanction the deal, because at the moment in time they're not going to sanction the deal because they haven't got a replacement in.
Danny, if they're waiting this long, they must be confident of getting these two players in with Gakpo and Savinho. Because if they're waiting this long, right, and obviously they need to get a replacement in, they must know behind the scenes that City and Liverpool are going to get them replacements in.
Phil,
I'll be absolutely devastated, right, if we don't get these two players in. The amount of time we've waited on them two players.
Have we? Hang on 1 second. Savinho, yes. Gakpo, no. Liverpool said all along they're not selling him.
Yeah, but they're after Barcola at the moment, Lubo. Right?
But it doesn't
we all
matter.
know that.
But they've lost Salah as well. If you lose Salah and Gakpo, you've got to bring two players
They want
in.
They want Mbaye as well.
Yeah, well, they want forwards in, don't they? They don't just want one. But they've got to look after themselves as well, haven't they? Liverpool. At the end of the day,
so they're not going to get
just
rid
a
of
waiting
him.
game.
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of him until.
There are other players, though.
Ellie,
It's not just Savinho and Gakpo.
The problem is Gakpo is proven in the Premier League for goals and assists, right? There aren't many players that have got the stats that he's got in the Premier League right now that you can say, hand on heart, if he comes to Spurs, he is going to get you goals and assists. Like, it's a guarantee because he's proven it.
Do you know what? The very fact, right, that people come out and say that Gakpo...
We should have gone and got Danny Dyer in a headlock and then stolen Bowen from West Ham, because he could get you goals and assists.
Gakpo's stats aren't great.
More than Gakpo. He's got a better record than Gakpo.
Me have been sitting here for a bit. Go on, give me your shout on everything, Mia. Good.
Yeah, I'm good. The reason I come on is because the thing about the toxic fan base. I feel like that I understood what was being said, and I don't know if I'm wrong, Dave, so tell me, but the way I see it, it's not about being negative or positive. It feels like because so much has gone on, everybody's sort of back and forth with each other about everything, like we're nitpicking each other, because the thing is, at the end of the day, most things are subjective. Like, players are always going to be subjective, but I feel like because of what's been going on at Tottenham, we're all so frustrated and disappointed that we're just nitpicking at each other, where when we had Poch, we were all very united. And I think what Dave was trying to say, that maybe we need to have something or somebody or like something at Tottenham now to go back to uniting us again, because it feels like we haven't done that. We haven't had that in a long time, where we're all behind one manager and we're all backing him like 100%. Although it wasn't like that at first with Poch, eventually it was like that with Poch. I think that's what he was saying. It wasn't necessarily about toxic positive or toxic negative. I think he was just saying that we're basically nitpicking and arguing because of what's been going on, and we need something to sort of bring us together. Am I right, Dave? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think toxic might have been the wrong word. I think divided might have been the
Yeah,
better
divided.
word to use.
Yeah.
That's
Divided.
the better phrase. It's just when you go
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
use phrases like that, you have to be able to back them up. You can't
Yeah.
just go
Yeah,
and say
like,
this toxic
I
fan
think
base and not back it up.
I would actually say that the fan base has got a little toxic with the way that we behave like towards each other, because we're basically divided, and that causes some toxicity within the fan base. Because I feel
I'd
like
only
that.
say it's certain people, Mia. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say in
I
general.
wouldn't
I mean,
say.
you look in general tonight on here, whatever. Haven't seen.
Yeah, but it
No
doesn't mean
violence
just
for a
because.
change.
No, but not just because that's just like a very small sample size. But I'm saying, if you look in a general basis over social media, I don't have Twitter, but I get sent stuff, and you see a lot of it going on back and forth, and there's a lot of like that kind of thing between each other, because we're so unhappy with what's been going on at our club. And it's not like I'm saying that people are in the wrong for that. I just feel like it's been built up resentment and anger towards what's been going on at our club. And
I think you're always going to get that. You're always going to get that in any fan base.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, of course you are.
It's
of course. I'm
the
not
norm,
saying
innit?
that, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen in other fan bases. I'm just saying I feel like it has happened at Tottenham with what we're going through, and that we need something to sort of bring us together, because we are so divided. That's
It's like
all.
it's Mia. It's like united we stand, divided we fall. Right. So we've all got to try and be strong for one another, so that we go forward and we actually compete with the elite clubs and get up there with them. You know, because I don't want to be. I don't want to see our club being finishing 17th.
But I don't want to be no
disgraceful.
fucking. I ain't no sheep, and I ain't going to be no fucking echo chamber just to keep some fans.
Yeah, but that's not what. But Dan,
Mm.
but that's not what we're saying, though. We're not saying that you need to be an echo chamber at all. That's not the point. The point is, as a collective, when you look at the teams that have won stuff, it's mostly the fan base. A majority of the fan base have got behind it, right? So it's more
We've
like
got the most
everyone.
divided fan base ever, Mia. There's no two
That's
ways
right,
about it.
exactly. So that's what we're saying. Like, if De Zerbi starts to do well, hopefully that will make us less divided, because together, that's when obviously something can build. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what Dave sort of meant.
Yeah, is that how weak the fan base is? We've got to be doing well in order for us to not be divided.
Yeah, but when you've got a club like Spurs that's been as fucked up as we have for the past 20 years, it is going to be extremely divided. And we are the most divided fan base out there. There's no two ways about it. There's no ifs or buts. There's arguments in every fan base.
That's utter horseshit, Dan.
You really do? Well, you agreed with it when I said it the other week.
And proof of, no, but but think about it. The same things we all argue about, the same things you see from our supporters. You're telling me you ain't seen on fucking AFTV or Man United?
No, not like this. Not like this. You can have 9 people on here, and everyone will be debating a different fucking point. Yeah, this was one of the problems that we had. I think. Yeah,
that's a difference of opinion, not
some
division.
people. You are divided if you're going to argue over it until you're divided, because you're more believing on that one than the other one believes on that one, and vice versa. Yeah.
Look, you
Whereas
two
a lot
are
of other
divided
people
on this
could
issue.
sit there. There you go. Whereas a lot of people was able to sit there at other clubs and say, right, this is the fucking problem. And 70-80% could see it. At Spurs, no. That's only happened towards the end. The thing that I said with it is that even though so many people had their opinion on what the main problem was at the club, was it Levy? Was it Enoch? Is it the managers we've had? Is it the shit players we've got? Is it this? So many different people pointing the main problem in a different direction. When you actually sit back and have a fucking look at it, no one was actually wrong. Enoch are the problem. Levy was part of the problem. Fucking players were part of the problem. Managers were part of the problem. Fans were part of the problem, because they ain't got the bollocks to stand up for their club at the best of times, and you only hear a few fans come up when we do a couple of good things. The rest of them shut up and sit in a corner. I can give you hardcore evidence on that when 150 of us stand there and 55,000 walk past us looking at us like dogs. You were there with us as well, Ben. So this fan base. Well, yeah, it weren't even 150. I'll go with that. But either way, for the sake of numbers, let's call it 100 just to be mates. And when it comes down on it, that is how divided this fan base is. That a lot of people just couldn't agree and see the whole fucking problem, that we was all actually right in these problems. If someone sees that one more as a problem, fine. If someone sees that one more of a problem, fine. But they was actually all a massive problem.
Dan, do you think it's improved since Levy's left?
I think there's been more hope put into the club, more hopium in the point of ENIC 2.0 and everything. And with the transfers we've made, I don't think Levy would have pulled them off. I don't think he had that capability. His biggest fuck up for me ever was just the fact that he should have stayed out of the fucking football side. So many things he missed out on, done a lot of right things for the club. The only reason the club is in the situation that it can throw money up the wall if it wishes to, and spend it well if it wishes to, is because of what Levy's basically built the structure on. And no one can complain about the structure.
It's so weird. It's so
but
weird.
The football side of it.
Asked me that today, by the way.
But
he asked me that exact question.
The football side of it. Yeah, we've been held back. We've been fucked up. We've been run terrible. We've done things we shouldn't have, and we've had a couple of lucky spells as well. And Poch was a lucky spell more than anything with the players we brought in. None of them was established quality players. Alderweireld was not an established quality player. He was on loan at fucking Southampton, for God's sake. Yeah, because he couldn't get a day in at Madrid. And then Poch brought him up levels, same as he did with Walker, same as he did with Rose, same as he did with quite a few of our players. Yeah. But I do think it has become that little bit tighter because there's been that more positive side on what we've seen at the start. But now all of a sudden we're back in this Spursy moment where we're not seeing fuck all happening because we've already had our hopes put up here by the start of the window. And now it's all of a sudden, have we run out of petrol? And now you're starting to see people having different opinions on it again, which isn't always toxic.
I see in your chat that people are saying we shouldn't criticise individual players or Solanke or Richarlison. That's part of football. If you're evaluating a player, you've got your opinion about that player. Doesn't mean you hate them. Doesn't mean you don't like them because, like, they're a Spurs player, but you don't have to like everything they do. If you think they're not pulling their weight or they're not scoring enough, of course you can criticise them. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, what's been toxic in that, except being realistic?
What's so toxic?
I mean, Ian, with everything I've said there, I know you have a massive history on the club, more than most of us know the shit and everything. With what I've just said there and described the whole thing, would you say that's fair overall? I'm not talking about pinpoint accuracy, but would you say that's a fair assumption I've given?
Yes, I think the big problem was the owners, to be honest, because if you're not backing the manager, and if you're saying to the manager that, I mean, Lange came out the other week, didn't he? And he said that he can now operate with better players because there's no wage cap. So if you're buying
no more, mate.
If you're buying less, let's just say lesser players, because you can't go out and get the better players because you're not offering the wages, then the lesser players are not as consistent. You're not buying your 8, 9s and 10 out, not even 10s, but you're probably not even getting 7 and 8 out of 10 players every week. So they're going to make more mistakes. They're going to be more inconsistent, and the team's results are going to suffer. And my problem with ENIC wasn't so much that I pointed out that the trophy wins had dropped massively since they came in, and my problem was that they never stretched themselves. And if they stretched themselves that little bit more, then we would have had better players that would have played in the big games, and we'd have had much more chance of winning. We'd have had a better chance of winning. You know, you go up against Chelsea in 2015, you go up against City in 2021 in the 2 League Cup finals. You know, Liverpool in 2019, I do think that was a missed opportunity. I think Poch also got that wrong
Very much so.
But I think, you see, if you got someone like Kane, you would play him. For me, Dele didn't deserve to start, and I would have played more instead of Dele Alli. and I would have kept Kane up front. And if Kane didn't do his stuff, then I'd have hooked Kane off.
Kane had been out for 3 months.
7 months.
He played a game of.
He'd been out for 7 weeks, I think, Dan. He got injured in the.
Yeah.
Was it the first half of the Ajax game?
And Lucas Moura had just gone out and put the hat trick on and everything.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Moura's better than Kane, but Kane was in no fit position
to
start that game. And for me, that was a major weakness that Poch showed. He fucked up a couple of times in the cups. You can't all just put a lot of this.
No. Listen.
There's been a fair few incidences where you've got to blame the players or the manager.
No, absolutely.
He's been there for the taking.
And a one-off game, I'd probably think that out of my entire... I mean, I've been following Spurs since 65, so just over 60 years. And that Champions League game was probably the biggest missed opportunity in my lifetime because Liverpool were there to be beaten.
They weren't too great then.
That's what happens when you start a game with Winks and Sissoko. It's another.
No, I've got to tell you something. Benji, Winks was our best player that night, so I'm not taking that. Sissoko, yes, Winks was our star man, so he turned up that night big time. But for me, if you go out and you buy better players and you offer better wages, and you stretch yourself. It's no guarantee of wages, but if you stretch yourself, you're going to get a stronger team and you're going to probably finish higher in the league. And you're going to probably, the percentages are that sooner or later, you're going to win more of those big games rather than lose them. I mean, we've lost 8 on the spin, I think, in the FA Cup semi-final. We've lost League Cup finals. And I'm not, getting rid of Jose 6 days before the City League Cup final. Just ridiculous, decisions like that. Getting rid of Pochettino. Poch had 5.5 really good years. Now the season, he told Levy he needed to upgrade, he needed to rebuild. The team was running out of gas. Levy didn't back him, didn't give him a player for 1.5 years. Missed out 3 windows, and then when it started going downhill. With Poch, after 10 games, he got rid of him. The bloke's taken us in June to a Champions League final. And the first sign of trouble, Levy's chucked him out. I mean, that's disgusting. Yeah, that is disgusting. Lewis should have thrown Levy out the day he talked about getting rid of Poch, because that is outrageous.
Yeah, but do you know what? There's a side to me, I wouldn't say 50-50 with that. Call it more 75-25. If I'm going to be totally honest, on a personal opinion, I think Poch was fucked anyway. He was burnt out. I reckon you could have put him an epic team down there, and I don't think he'd have lived up to standards. I think Poch was burnt out. For whatever the reasons are, blame it on Enoch, blame it on Levy, blame it on the squad. Personally, I think Poch was mentally burnt out.
Do you know what I think it was, Dan? I think if he was very emotional after the Amsterdam win when he was interviewed.
Of course it was.
That night.
Who wasn't?
But you could see that he was drained, and he'd been drained. Yes. He hadn't been backed, and it was like, look what I've done without any backing for 1.5 years. Look what I could have done with backing, and it was like they'd taken the guts out of him. Yeah, and maybe he ran out of gas then.
I think he did,
but he should have still been here, because if he'd have been backed at the right time, we'd have been winning trophies, because we were that close.
You don't know that, but you don't know that, Lou.
We had a brilliant team.
Hold up. Hang on.
We accrued more points in those 2 seasons than any other Premier League club. That team was.
But that doesn't you can't guarantee that we would have won with Poch. You can't say that would have been the case, though, because don't know. It doesn't matter, because
hang on, Mia.
Hold on, let me just finish, Lubo, because you've spoken. Nobody's letting me talk. Please allow me to speak and get my point across, so you can then go and rebut it. But basically, what I'm saying is to you is, even with all of that information that you've got, right, we could have done the exact same thing and still finished second, exactly like Poch did, because you can't predict the outcome of all the other teams. So even though we did get all those points, we still didn't win. He still couldn't get us over the line. So there was nothing saying that with a better squad and a better team at that team and improving on that he could have done that. Nothing. You can't guarantee it, because the way you're saying it's like it's factually, that's factual.
No,
And it's
listen.
not, because nobody knows, Like,
No.
I think he didn't win a away game for a year. Calendar year.
It was 8 months.
It was, wasn't it?
It was 8 months. He won a game. He won a game at Fulham in January, and that was between the end of Jan and end of May. He didn't win an away game, and then he didn't win an away game for the 2 months, 10 weeks in the following season. But if you're looking at a team that have just finished with 86 points and come second, they're that close. That team, if you win 86. If you win 86 points in a Premier League season, you're a bloody good side. So going on the realms of working on the percentages of possibility, if you added 2 or 3 top players to that team that have got 86 points, then you've got more chance of it improving than regressing.
Yeah.
Poch gave. Well, do you know what? I'll say this out loud. For me, Pochettino is one of the best managers we've ever had. When I think of Spurs, I think of Pochettino era, right? Yeah. I'm not surprised that season we did so poorly. It was a burnt-out manager. It was a burnt-out team. That very same season, Pochettino was crying out for a rebuild.
Nkudu and Ng on bench.
Yeah,
but we never
fucking
got
Nkudu.
Then all the other players.
Yeah, let Ben say his bit. Let Ben finish his bit. Go on, Ben.
I ain't got much more to say. All I'm saying is it boils back to Enoch and Daniel Levy. You can't, that guy, whether you like him or hate him, he brought quality to Spurs, okay? He gave us some of the best memories, especially modern fans, have had. That's undoubtedly.
And also the biggest letdowns we've ever had as well, most probably.
I mean, I think I know where you're going with
what
that.
was the letdown?
What was the letdown? That he won absolutely fuck all and he had the chances to do it. When it came to the crunch, he didn't see
but what were we famous for underneath Potter? We had a first team and
that league, we should have fucking had that. The reason we didn't have that league is because we bottled it.
Don't blame Poch, blame Enoch for not strengthening his side.
We bottled that league in that Chelsea game. No ifs, no buts. We got
closer than the year we finished
even
with
more.
Chelsea.
That
Not that season.
More.
I'm talking about the season when we finished second to Chelsea. 26 goals we lit in
when
only.
We finished second to Leicester, or was it third to Leicester? Sorry,
third.
We bottled that league. No two ways about it. Poch didn't get it working properly when he should have, and get the players under control when he should have, and the players fucking lost their plot in that Chelsea game.
Dan,
that's when we got fucked over.
Dan,
what do you need to win a league, Dan?
We were 7 points behind. We were 7 points behind Leicester. Though, so even if we'd won it, we still would have been behind them.
Dan,
I think we bottled that one.
Need to have know-how of winning the league as well.
Last four games, we drew with West Brom.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to Chelsea. I know we lost to Newcastle, and the other game we drew. If we'd have won all 4 games, we'd have still finished a point behind Leicester.
Yeah, that's what
we
I'm
finished.
saying.
We finished 11 points behind. They had no Europe. They had no injuries. Everything that could have gone their way went their way. Now, I'm not saying they didn't deserve it, because you win the league, you do deserve it.
You win the league.
That's right. Yeah. But there were no injuries and they had no Europe, so their players were fresh every week. Everything ran their way, and it was. I don't think we bottled it. I think we lost our heads at Chelsea and lost a 2-goal lead. Yeah. I don't think it was bottling it. I think it was cracking under pressure.
Okay, if you want to put it like that, then okay, I'll go with that one. That's
and after that, it was done. I mean, the whole thing was done, Dan. It was. We were just
always
too far
buts and maybes again.
We were the best team that season.
And we finished third, didn't
we?
I know, but we were by far the most. We were by far the best team. We should have won it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think if there would have been that extra pressure on Leicester, who knows where it would have gone. Again, it's ifs, buts and maybes. But for me, we screwed that whole season basically under that Chelsea game for me.
But Dan, that's the difference between Arsenal and Tottenham. So Arsenal were the best footballing team in the country for about 2 years, like I feel we were. And the difference between us and them is they continue to get backed. Look, I understand there's blame on the players and there's blame on there is blame on Poch as well. Fine, but for me, the biggest thing in the world comes back to a lack of backing. We were known for having a first 11, and that was it.
Yes,
I mean, Mark, do you reckon we bottled that? I say bottle it. Do you reckon we fucked that league up through either bottling it or through lack of experience or through like what Lubo said, lost our heads? Whatever way you want to put it, do you think we actually screwed that league up and should have had that against Leicester? I mean, coming second to Chelsea is a different story because that Chelsea team was fucking good.
You're muted, man.
I think we were better than Chelsea as well.
Hang on.
Sorry, people. I was muted. Sorry. Yeah, I was trying to cancel any buzz that was going on in the background. That was all to help the situation. Look, it's difficult because I agree with Ian to a certain extent that we lost our heads. There's no doubt about that. Does experience come into it? Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
It possibly does. It's difficult to separate. Should we have won it, Dan? When you're a Spurs fan, you know how it is because it's not like we're close every year to winning the league. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you do get that close, it's like I don't know to fans of the elder statesmen and ladies, if you like. It's like, oh my God, we're actually going to do it. We are going to win the league. Do you know what I mean? We can do this. And then when it don't happen, it's all a disappointment, Dan, the usual stuff. But it still doesn't forgive where we've been. Just bringing it back to current day, Dan, for the last 2 years. And I've been listening to what people have been saying, and I get where Lubo's coming from, and I'm one of the first to say that there was so much wrong at this football club that it was never going to be done in one window. Yeah. What I do expect, though, is if we are backing the manager, right, that Enoch and the people like Ian said there that are involved in the club should be able to see that Solanke and Richie are not going to push us on, right? My big gripe is that the squad was so weak even though with what we've bought, and even if we did go and get a left winger and a striker tomorrow, we're still weak then. And I know, again, we can't do everything, right? But I go back again to this last 4 weeks. I'm not saying they haven't done anything behind the scenes or they're not trying to do something massive. Who knows? But it just, when it goes quiet like this, like it has done since the Tonali signing.
Spursy comes into your head, doesn't it?
Yes, straight away, Dan. Straight away, mate. And that's the only way I can explain it.
No, do you know what? I think you've hit the nail on the head with it, if I'm going to be honest, mate. I can agree with what you said there. Same as I can agree with what Ian said there. Maybe I put that across the wrong way. Bottling it ain't quite the word for that. If anything, we lost our heads. But then it define the word bottle to me. Is it because you got scared? Is it because you lost your head? I think it's just a figure of speech, that one. But you're both right. I think you're both right on what you've said there.
I think, Dan...
Everything was in the palm of Leicester's hand to do it. But I think if we wouldn't have fucked it up against Chelsea, I think we could have had that extra pressure on them. But then...
I think...
Ifs and buts.
There were just 2 points on that season I want to make. Number one, Leicester played before us every single weekend. The way the fixtures worked out. So
yeah, because we was in Europe, wasn't it?
That's right. I think we were in the Europa, and they weren't. So they played first, and they put the pressure on us every time. If it had been the other way round, who knows?
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's actually a fair point. I can't argue that one. That's actually a fair point. When they've got but the pressure is still on them to put the pressure on us as well, though.
Yeah,
the one time both ways that bit, but I think that's a fair point.
I'll tell you where we screwed it, Dan. We screwed it. There were 2 matches the first week of March. We lost at West Ham 1-0. He changed Walker and Rose for Trippier and Davis. We lost Dembele through injury, I think, in midfield. and the team didn't look right. If we'd have won at West Ham on that Wednesday night on March the 3rd, that was the one time during the season we'd have been top.
Yeah, we lost 1-0. I remember
We
that.
lost 1-0.
I know.
And Chadley gave the ball away, and then he lost his man at a corner. And the following Saturday, we dropped 2 points against 10-man Arsenal. We let Sanchez in for an equaliser for a 2-2 draw.
That's
If we'd
right.
have won
How
those
does he
two
remember
games, we'd have ended the week at March 6th on top, and maybe, just maybe, mentally, psychologically, the pendulum would have swung. We'd have been on top for 2 games, and maybe it would have helped, and maybe Leicester might have dropped off.
Yeah,
But
that's a
it
fair
didn't
point.
happen.
It is always buts and maybes. It is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody was losing to Leicester, man.
That they went
I
to
was so
City,
sick
didn't they,
of
Ellie?
it.
Do you remember?
They came to White Lane, and I think Robert Huff scored the goal, didn't he?
Leicester
And-
is your prime example of proof that you don't have to have a special team. Leverkusen did not have a special team. They had some good players, some couple of very good players, but in general, they had a good team. Nothing more. They weren't special, but the manager sussed them out. How perfect formation for these players, perfect way to play these players, and lo and behold, they went and smashed the whole fucking league. Leicester again. The manager got it right. He knew how to play every player to their capabilities, to keep them in sync, to get the best out of it. And that is one thing I feel at Spurs we haven't had for fucking since Poch. We haven't had a manager that seems to be able to just get every player to play in the right position, let alone get the formation right and everything else. Hopefully, this will change with De Zerbi. And maybe a few of us do have to calm down a bit on the aspect of this window's going to be a failure or this window's going to be terrible and that. Because for me, and that's not aimed at anyone on here in particular, that's just in general with a fan base, from what I read on a lot of other things like X, Facebook and all that crap. It's fun going fishing on there. It really is. But
do you know what,
even
Dan?
if we don't sign a left winger and a striker, it's not a disaster window. It's not a terrible window. We have gone and bought players of caliber that we don't usually buy.
Absolutely. And
if we looked
at the transfer window, if we look forward, go back to the end of May, and you're looking forward and you're thinking, right, look at this squad. It's a really piss poor squad. We're short in many positions, which is totally unbalanced. How many windows is this going to take to put right? And all of us would probably look at that and say, at minimum 6 windows, 3 years to get this right. You've just finished 17th, and forget the year before we finished 17th, we were never going down. We nearly went down last year. And if you'd looked at it and said, right, how many players do we need? Christ, we probably need 7 or 8 in the first team alone. You know, we're some way there. And when De Zerbi came out and said, I need 16 to... No, he said, I've got 10 or 12 players here that for me are right for the club. And out of a squad of 28, that leaves you 16 to 18 that he needs to buy. So how many windows is it going to take him? Remember, it's got to be the right person. It's got to be the right player that fits his style of football. Now, I'll be disappointed like everybody else if we don't buy any strikers and a winger, because we've needed a winger for 2 or 3 seasons now. You know, we should have known that Sonny was coming towards the end, and we should have there should have been a succession plan. But again, this was another thing. The owners never had a succession plan for Kane. You know, for me, they got 86 million for Kane. They should have turned around to Napoli and said, right, there's another 40 on top. We want Osimhen. Bring him in for 125 million so he replaces Kane. Nothing. Richie was bought the year before. Solanke was bought the year after. Neither of them are anywhere near that. They're levels below Kane. So,
with the 6 players that we bought, Lubo, though, do you think that, like, individually, do they suit De Zerbi down to a T in the way that we're going to play?
Probably. You needed. Listen, he made his mind up early on Kinski because he gave him a 5-year contract. So if you're De Zerbi, listen, Vicario wanted to go. So you want a number 2 who's experienced, who isn't going to let you down if and when he needs to come in and play. He's got Dubravka. How many? You're not going to get Henderson or a Kelleher or any of these. You're not going to get a Sevilla from Roma to come in and be number 2, because De Zerbi went early on Kinski. So, okay, if we look at it realistically, you want to get a number 2 in who's not going to let the team down if Kinski get injured. So you've got Dubravka in there. You've got Robertson, who's going to bring an air of professionalism to the club and leadership to that dressing room, because boy, did we lack that last season. We had no leaders. I remember being on podcasts week after week after week, and everyone was saying, where were the leaders? Kane's gone, Larissa's gone, Hojbjerg's gone. You know, they were all going. There was nobody in the dressing room.
He offers nothing on the pitch, though.
It's actually Hojbjerg, by the way.
Did you see him against Chelsea the other day?
One game. Sorry, yeah, Benji. One game. Let's not write off a player who's won everything with Liverpool, who you would think is going to come in. He's not going to be first choice this season, but he's going to bring. He's going to improve the squad. He's going to bring leadership qualities to this.
He can cross better than our wingers.
He's still a good player. He's still a good player. He can offer us something.
I think Robertson was a good shout for a freebie. I ain't got no problem with that. And for me, he's got more than enough captain material in him. We've actually got a few people on there. You could actually, I wouldn't say actually question who would you have as your captain now. Whereas before, it was like, fucking hell, you might as well put Mickey Mouse on there because we ain't got a fucking leader there, that's for sure.
I can't knock any of the players that we bought so far. Can't knock any of them.
No,
I think they all suit.
The two centre backs are excellent. You know, they can defend, they can pass, which is what De Zerbi needs.
I don't know enough about.
May I ask you a question?
So I was going to ask you all, I'd like to know individually, if it would have been flipped and we would have got the players in now, do you think that maybe people's reaction would be differently if we got them in the latter part of the window, like say now when there's 3 or 4 weeks to go? Because I feel like because we did it early, that skewed maybe people's perception. So individually, would you do
if they were all spaced out? You mean?
If they were all spaced out, but maybe as well in this part of the window instead of being right at the beginning. If we said like we're going to get 6 players in now and we got them all a bit more like a bit spaced out, would people maybe feel differently?
I think
about
they'd
how
have
the window's gone.
Mia, I think they'd have moaned because players wouldn't have been bought before the pre-season tour. So fans would have quite correctly been complaining about that. We got the 6 in early.
We're right moaners, haven't we?
Listen, we got
every reason to be Ellie.
Yeah, I was just joking.
So that's my take on it.
Only minis.
Anyone else?
I really don't. The way it was done, it was like I said earlier, Ellie. I think it was just where I was saying, and a few agreed with me, a few didn't. Mia, sorry.
That's all right.
We was going to have to take a step down in the sort of caliber of player we had to look at and that. And then all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. You're like, what the fuck? Nobody predicted that. A few of us thought, they might do something, but nobody expected what happened.
Yeah.
And that obviously puts people's hopes up and then obviously puts people's standards up. Because if I would have said at the start of this window, at the start of everything, right, we finish 10th next year, I think a majority of people wouldn't have liked it, but I think a majority of people would have said, okay, we got to start somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden with this team I expect no lower than 8th. And that's still without buying a left winger or a striker, because I believe there's a lot more controlled in midfield, and also we fucked up a hell of a lot in defence as well. So I do think it was where everything was done so quick. It put everyone's hope. You know what? There's only one way I can describe this basically, and only a couple of people will relate to it, but fuck it. It's 11:30 at night. I just use one of my ways of describing it. It was like that day when you're 20, when you're down the pub and you got your mate that's big next to you, you're fucking half cut, you don't know how to get out of it because you're pissed up. So he says, come to the toilet, we'll do this. You do that, you're all hyped up. You turn around and that again, where because you're feeling pissed up now, and your mate's already fucked off and took the lot and gone home with a bird. Few people will understand that, yeah. That is the only way.
He's having a fun time while you're stuck at the pub.
Yeah. Now I'm stuck at the bar, pissed off. While my mate's gone and done all the gear and fucked off home with the fucking bird with his missus and that. I'm like, cheers, mate. Like, you got me all up there, and now all of a sudden I don't know whether I'm coming or going. That is the only way I can put it across. But I think a few people get the point I'm saying there. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, I'm going to shoot.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Done, mate. Cheers for coming on, mate. Good to see you.
Pleasure.
Nice to see you, Lubo.
Lubo
Good to
got
see
the
everyone.
bird.
Take care, Lubo.
I'm going to make one point. This time next year, things could look
We're
very
going to be
different.
millionaires.
Absolutely.
Millionaires.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Because having had the team for a season, De Zerbi will know who can play De Zerbi ball and who can't.
Yeah.
And I can see another big turnover of players next summer.
I agree.
And then in 12 months' time, you'll probably be looking at more of a squad and first team that De Zerbi has.
Lubo.
You know, that play with his identity.
Can I ask you one question before you go, or two? First of all, how many players do you think will sign by the end of the window? And who?
Put a figure on it.
I think there'll definitely be one.
Yeah.
And it could be massive.
So, if you're gonna put a name on that one, who do you think it could be? Like, I know we're all guessing, but I just wanted to see what you think. And also, when do you think the next signing is coming? That's the other question.
Oh my God, how many questions, man? For God's sake, one question, two questions, three questions. Jesus.
I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. I'll leave it at that.
Awesome.
Harry Kane.
I'll catch you later.
See you later, Del Boy.
Take care.
Difficult Greek question there, Danny.
Del Boy's left the building.
Reloaded.
Lubo's done a Lubo answer. And there it is.
Yeah, because you asked about 5 questions, man. He wants to go to bed, you know what I mean?
No, that's just Lubo being Lubo. Well, why you piped up Maya? Mia. Same shit.
Maya.
Same shit. Hold up a second. You know what my proper name is, yeah? So how's that even a short version of it, Danny? Prick.
Danny, you dummy.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Who round your cage?
You lot better clear out.
Who round your cage?
It's late, I can swear, innit? The kids are in bed, so that's all good.
Someone took the muzzle off the wolf, didn't they?
You're not bite as well, so you better watch the fuck out, innit?
Yeah, well,
Mia's here for a long time, not a short time.
It's like a Chihuahua bite, more like.
Isn't it? Exactly. You bite the ankles, but
find out.
Nor at you.
Hold on a minute, Danny. You're not that fucking tall yourself, mate. I've been next to you, standing next to you, mate.
I wasn't talking about height. I was talking about your bark, your bite.
Cool.
It's like little Chihuahua.
Are you suggesting that Mia's bark is worse than her bite?
He's suggesting that Mia's a Chihuahua.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you suggesting that, Dan? Are you suggesting
it's all noise. All noise.
Oh.
I'm a poodle.
Okay, fair enough. And then go on, Ben. What are you then, Ben? If you're a dog, mate, what are you?
Is that a fucking real question?
Yeah, go on. If you're a dog, what dog are you?
Come on.
What the fuck's going on?
I'm not a fucking dog, mate. I'm a lion.
I'd say a bulldog.
He's a lion.
I was going to say a Great Dane.
Fucking lion.
No, you got to be tall for a Great Dane. I'm definitely not tall.
He's tall. He's a great.
I would say.
We've got Ben sitting there working out what dog he is.
I would be a pug dog. Yeah.
A what?
Yeah, I'll be a pug dog.
A
dog that looks like it's had its face kicked in with a shovel.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, right, to be fair, it works.
So rude. Minnie's listening in, Dan. She's not going to be happy.
I think them dogs are fucking ugly, mate.
No, they're not. They are so cute.
They
are the cutest dogs.
No, they look like stroke victims, to be fair.
King Charles Spaniels are the
they
cutest
do,
dogs.
don't they?
They are the cutest
do look
dogs.
a mess.
King Charles Spaniels, they're lovely.
I
think
with getting a
Dave's a King
Rottweiler.
Charles Spaniel.
Is this what we're going to do? We're going to go around in a circle. Tell her, fucking Cookie. What dog are you, mate?
Unlike Enoch, who have got no bite to themselves, I'm a Bedlington Terrier, mate, because I'll go and chew all them fucking rats out, mate. What you know about that?
Yeah.
Go on then,
Give him a
Dave. What
bite
dog
from
are
me
you?
as
Go on
well,
then,
Cookie.
Go on then, Dave. What dog are you?
Rotty.
Oh,
Rottweiler.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. Come on, you got to give a better one. You got to give a different one to a Rottweiler. You ain't a Rottweiler.
Yeah, Dave.
Nice. Yeah, you fucking poodle.
Yeah, no, I ain't having Rottweiler.
I had to describe myself.
Just call it a personal thing. You ain't no Rottweiler.
You're a Labrador. You give me Labrador vibes. I'm going to be honest.
Placid, tame,
nice, loyal. Yeah, Labrador. Sorry.
Yeah, lovable. But
There
don't.
you go.
But don't. I don't know. I'm one of these ones. I don't let people take the piss, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't let them get away with it too easily.
No, dogs do. If anything, they say it's the smaller dogs that are the fucking problem. Okay,
Yeah,
you
like me.
Time.
Yeah, you're Pomeranian. You're Pomeranian. You can fucking shut up, Danny.
It's them little ones. They're the ones that just don't shut up and fuck off, innit? Basically, them little dogs like.
Yep.
Yeah, me.
Hey, Jack Russell. Anything other than
Dan said it.
That's all right. I'm pissing your leg and all, so it's all right.
Go on then, the last questions, because like I say, I'm going to end it, and this is just amusing anyway. Go on then, Phil. What dog are you, mate?
I'd say I'm a fucking St. Bernard, to be honest with you. Slobbery, hairy fucker.
Yeah, that definitely
that
is.
suits you.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a bit of Benji as well.
I'm gonna
any dog that's on heat. That's you.
Yeah,
Are you calling Danny a bitch? Are you calling him a bitch? Because
you know.
The worst thing, you're talking about dogs mating. When we had the Rottweiler Hugo, I mean, he had to go for size of the place where we got a kid on the way and that, yeah. We was mating him in the front room with like other Rottweiler and that, getting paid for it and that. And then don't ask me how he fucking done it and that. Beth just like literally made a funny noise and cringed and that, walked in there and that. As all we see up the wall is a load of fucking spunk off the dog. It was like,
oh.
He just bolted his load right up the fucking wall. I was like, did the bitch get any of that? Like, yeah, plenty. Like, and the wall got it as well. It's like, it was fucking disgusting. But there you go.
Replastered the walls.
Yeah, literally, it weren't pretty. I didn't know it could let loose that much. You know what I mean? Bloody hell, it was quite shocking. But I suppose that would have been a different story. Right, I suppose I've got to put my own dog on there then. What's I call myself? I'd say I'm a staff. If I go with a dog, I go with a staff. I ain't the tallest fella, placid, that I can bite as well. So I'll say I'm a staff.
Nah, I'm not having that.
Go on then.
What's Dan?
I reckon he's a German Shepherd.
Nah, Dodo Bordeaux.
No, I could go with a German Shepherd. I like them.
Yeah, because you're handsome.
Oh, thank you.
Good. The silence speaks volumes for me.
Somebody go and get. Listen, I don't know what Ellie is, but just go and get her fixed for fuck's sake. Good.
Yeah, well,
Ellie's on heat.
Put it this way. Put it this way. If Benji and Mark turns around and says, "Yeah, I actually agree with you, Ellie. He's quite a handsome man, isn't he?" Now I'm actually sitting here thinking, "Yeah, it's definitely time to finish the fucking show." Then I definitely need a rainbow flag, don't I?
What are you?
Me.
He's a crossbreed.
Have you seen his fucking ponytail?
He's a crossbreed.
Go on, Dan. What do you think? I've got no idea.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I've got no idea.
Danny, be honest. Is that a ponytail or is it a pegging handle?
What?
I said, is that a ponytail or is it a pegging handle?
Rescue dog, yeah.
Oh, it depends. Rescue.
Yeah. Danny
what is a rescue dog?
Dogs that get given to you from Romania or something like that, isn't he?
Somebody on Twitter said Gakpo isn't an upgrade on Richarlison.
Either way, look, I've got to leave it at that, yeah, because enough's enough before it gets too abusive and before Mia turns up on my door and kicks it. No, actually turns up at your door, Dan. You were more abusive than me. So thanks for everyone coming on. Ben, when you're doing your next show, mate?
Yeah, look, listen, if you want unbridled waffle and bag of cats mentality where opinions change every single game that gets played, then please come and join me at the Tottenham Concept. I'm up to 100 subscribers, thanks to you lovely people, and long may it continue.
Okay.
Is that any better? Because I'm terrible at plugging.
That was actually good. That was good.
Yeah. You're definitely more of a taker than a giver, I'll tell you that. Mark?
Is that how we're rating people's answers now? Is it?
What?
I've got to be careful what I say.
Yeah, Mark, do you want you got to be careful what you say, or because you get labelled a giver or a taker.
Yeah.
Shall we put a poll on that, Dan?
Poll.
Well, mate, if you can take a poll.
No. If Dan and Benji, if Dan and Benji were in a relationship, who'd be the taker and who'd be the giver? Put that poll up, Dan.
Oh,
mate,
Benji, you'd definitely be the taker.
All day long, mate.
Mia?
But anyway, Mark, you've got a show coming up.
I can't believe you're even asking this.
No, I don't, because Mia will go too deep with it, same as Ellie. Mark.
Yes, Dan.
Mia likes it deep.
What would you know?
Daddy, where have you been going? You've been going round to Mia's house in the evening, eh?
Fucking, he's a dog. He's a bitch on hate. Fucking hell, calm yourself down.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that. Fucking hell. Like, you hear the stories all the time. Go on, Mark.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I'll just jump in before it gets worse. We're on in the morning, as usual, Dan, at 9:30 for the breakfast brunch. Usual. We're on every morning, so come over and join us. Thanks for having us on, Dan. Big up to everyone in the chat
Glad
and
to see you, mate.
everyone on the panel.
Right, and Adam, you don't do your own thing. Dave, sorry, you don't do your own one, do you? Or do you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't know you did. Go for it, mate.
I'm gonna do a live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. as always. Sort the kids out first, get them settled, bath, dinner, God knows what. Then I'll do a live at 8 p.m. So yeah,
what's the channel called?
It's Spurs Syndrome.
Okay, Spurs Syndrome. So everyone go over and sign on Spurs Syndrome as well as on Benji and Mia. I'm sure you'll be turning up sooner or later.
Yep, back tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
What, to
with
Danny's
my live
house?
stream at Tottenham's Lone Wolf.
Tottenham's Lone Wolf.
I'm going to come to your door next and fucking slap you one and all.
Yeah, you got to watch it, Bench, because the muzzle ain't there anymore, so she's going to bite twice as hard. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching, everyone, and guests earlier coming on. Much appreciated. Take care. Have a good night, and I'm sure we'll have a bullshit banter about Spurs again anytime soon. Take care, people.
Gotta do hella big, gotta fight it back again.